At the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. Safe. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Coming to you live from White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners are set to face off for a fourth and final time this Cape Cod Baseball League season. The Mariners have already clinched a playoff spot, are trying to take the top spot in the East Division, and as for the Harbor Hawks, they are fighting for their lives, trying to get into the playoffs. With a win, they can control their own destiny. With a loss, they depend on Falmouth, just 3 points behind them in the West Division. As we welcome you just behind home plate here at White House Field alongside Max Schwartzberg and Giovanni Collada, I'm Graham Nash. Gio, the last time these two teams faced off, Harwich's pitching, which is the best in the Cape Cod Baseball League, really took them down.
And it all began with the starter, Gianni Giambardella, out of Maine. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run allowed in that 6-3 win for the Mariners back at McKeon Park over a week ago. But the interesting thing about Giambardella's start and what the rest of the pitching staff did for the Mariners was it walked 5 batters, hit 1 batsman, and only faced the minimum 4 times. That's a very good stat, but that would be a bit high on the free passes end for a 6-3 win where the pitching, Graham, as you mentioned, was the dominant force. 9 strikeouts from a Mariner pitching staff that has faltered in the last 3 games. All 3 of them losses for Harwich as it battles for the top spot in the East with Orleans, so anything could happen tonight, but if they bring that performance, going to be very hard to beat.
Hyannis trying to carry forward a performance from last night that, Max, was arguably their best and most important win of the season.
And it was important that it was against Bourne because that's a season series that was marred by free passes. Only 3 walks for the Harbor Hawks. Did have a couple wild pitches and errors in there, but what I really liked is how they came together in that 9th inning. You could tell that these guys love each other. They got great cohesion, and they were all over that wild pitch. It's really a momentum setter, and that could play into tonight.
Well, I was able to talk to manager Mitch Carricker before the game and ask him about that ball game yesterday and the emotions in this dugout. Let's take a listen. Graham Nash catching up with manager Mitch Carricker pregame. Coach, Hyannis coming off of maybe its biggest and best win of the season just in terms of where it landed. How would you describe the overall vibe and feeling in the dugout right now?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. I mean, anytime you get a walk-off win, spirits are pretty high. We knew we had a tough test against a good team, and to be able to come out on top felt really good.
Going up against a pitcher tonight in Parker Dilhoff, who's had limited starts, only 2 innings and 1 1/3 in his limited time starting. How do you attack that kind of pitcher? Is there any different mentality?
No, I mean, our guys did a really good job getting this good scouting report, saw some video on them, and so I think our guys have a good visual about what we're going to see. But you just never know what you're going to get. Every day is a little bit different, so hopefully our guys have a good approach at the plate, just put some good swings on balls and see what happens.
Looking at your lineup for tonight, a couple more righties in the lineup than we're used to seeing at this point. Just trying to mix more guys in, or is that just how the cookie's crumbling?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the lefty, the right-handers I feel like are a good matchup. Trying to split up the lefties a little bit instead of giving them a string of left-handers to go against. He can be a little tougher on left-handed hitters. So, that's part of it. The other part of it is some of those guys haven't played in a few days, and so wanted to get them back in there and give them a chance to help us win.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys?
Atrocious. You are back.
Well, Max, heard at the end there, manager Mitch Carricker talking about the right versus left matchup at the plate tonight, and inserted a lot of more right-handed bats trying to take advantage of that matchup.
Well, a couple nights ago in Falmouth, they had 8 left-handed hitters in the starting lineup, only 4 tonight. But this is a Hyannis team that thrives against left-handed pitching, whether it's that left-on-left matchup or left-on-right. It doesn't really matter. They're first in the Cape League in a batting average OPS against left-handed pitchers, so that could be a strength tonight. And, of course, it's going to be even bigger with the left-handed starter.
We got a couple of pregame interviews with players coming up for you. Starting off, our Ethan Wax was able to catch up with Jace Doby and then Ava Fernandez with a pitcher from last night who did pretty well in Garewald. Take a look.
Catching up with Jace Doby, and Jace, is the team feeling any additional pressure as the season is coming down to the last week?
No, I don't think so. I think we try to just focus on what's ahead of us, the game that we're playing today, and just taking care of business, doing that. There's no point in worrying about other things we can't control.
And the team is now 5-1 in games after giving up 10 or more runs in the previous game. Why do you believe it bounces back so well?
I think, after a tough game like that, you just want to come back and perform better. So I think, it's kind of like a wake-up call for the next game. We're feeling a little bit more ready to go.
And the team won consecutive games just once in July. What do you think you have to do to become more consistent in that field?
Just not worrying about any external factors, right? Just staying really present. We can't control winning consecutive games, and that shouldn't be something that's on our mind. So it's just playing the next pitch, and
Despite scoring 4 runs last night, the team has only been 2-11 with runners in scoring position. Why do you believe it's been a struggle this season?
Giving credit to the pitching. The pitching really good out here. But I don't know.
Thank you for your time tonight, and good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Ava Fernandez alongside pitcher Sam Garewal, who was one of our relief pitchers last night. And Sam had 5 strikeouts on the mound last night. And Sam, what was kind of working for you up at the mound?
Everything was working pretty well. Just all my off speed was working really well. Threw a lot of low changeups and high fastballs. Was getting a lot of whiffs, and it was just working out pretty well. Just those two pitches. Yeah,
and what kind of has been the experience like? You're working with all different catchers from all over the country. How has it been adjusting to different signs from different catchers like every single game?
I'm lucky. They're all pretty good. They all frame really well, and the signs are pretty simple. I actually live with Brody Briggs too, so we have a little bit of a good chemistry there too. But they've been really helpful so far, and hasn't been too much of an adjustment.
Yeah, and what are some things that you guys definitely need to work on tonight to make sure that the motivation stays up to secure that final spot?
I think the pitchers have been doing really well, and the hitters have been too. Just run into a little bit of tough luck, and I think if we can just put up a few runs and keep pitching the way we have, then I think it'll go really well.
Yeah, well, great job yesterday, and Sam will be pitching hopefully the next few days for the Harbor Hawks. Thank you so much. Back to you guys. Thank you, Sam.
All right, thank you so much, Ethan and Ava. Did a little Charlie Adams there. Thank you so much, Ethan and Ava. Max, Hyannis has had a very up-and-down week of baseball. It has been a roller coaster ride, a run rule loss to Katuitt, a run rule win over Bourne, then a 1-run loss, a 1-run win, another run rule loss, a tie thrown in there, and then last night's result. It has been a wild stretch of baseball.
And it was a much-needed win last night that only magnifies how important that win was, because this is a Hyannis team that has come so close throughout the course of the season, especially in July. They had a couple weird games in there, then some ties. To come out and have a win like that, especially when Falmouth beat Chatham to eliminate the Anglers from the playoffs in the East, that really sets a tone, that sends a message, and it gives to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks some momentum moving forward, because this is a team that just thrives off that.
Looking at this matchup specifically, something that really sticks out, both teams over the course of the season-long series are 4 for 24 with runners in scoring position. They've struggled to get those singles with someone on second, have relied on big hits. So it feels like an early tone set of getting someone in scoring position is going to be important for who's going to win this ball game.
And the last time we were here at White House Field on the 1st of July, so exactly a month ago, it was really the big hit. When they had the Hayden Federico home run, you had a home run for the Mariners, but it's just really a struggle for runners in scoring position throughout the season for not only Harwich but Hyannis, because they started out so hot. And it's going to be important for early attacks on pitches, because if you can get that big hit, start it off with a double, maybe get a little big fly, that's going to be big.
Well, they're reading out starting lineups right now for the Harwich Mariners. We will be back in just a moment to give you starters on both sides here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Dean is a whole group of all different kinds of people and communities.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home, with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Here's the starting lineup for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, as penciled in by manager Mitch Carricker for this Hyannis v. Harwich finale in the 2025 Cape League season. Ryan McKay is going to lead off with Parker Brocious and Jeff Lugie behind. Then Jace Doby, who's been red hot, is going to come in at cleanup with Gabe Camacho and Dayton LaChance behind. And the last three, Charlie Bates, Miles Davis, and Devin Mitchell. They will be going up against a new pitcher in the Cape Cod Baseball League in Parker Dillhoff. Dillhoff making his first start, his second appearance. He appeared at Brewster on July 26th when Harwich won 9-8, dealt for an inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, neither of them earned, and struck out 2. Coming over from the West Virginia Black Bears of the MLB Draft League. And in the 2 starts that he had for the West Virginia Black Bears, he only went for 1 1/3 and then 2 innings, so not necessarily a long haul guy.
And this is a Harwich team that has the second best starting pitching earned run average. The team with the best, your Hyannis Harbor Hawks. But Harwich as a whole, a team that has been electric on the mound this season, and they've really given their offense chances to win. An offense that's honestly struggled throughout the course of the summer, but you know, they say pitching wins championships, and if you have a good start on the mound, you're going to give your guys a chance to win. That's what they're going to look for right here.
The difference really is jarring between the offensive and defensive stats for the Harwich Mariners. Worst or second to worst in average at 233. They have the lowest ERA at 340. So big difference there. They really lean on that pitching and solid pitching. Here is the defensive alignment behind Parker Dillhoff. From left to right in the outfield, Peter Link, Nico Brini, and Ryan Garrity. In the infield left to right, Patrick Foltz, Tanner Marsh, Jake Coonan, Kyle Wolf, and then Matt Conti behind the dish doing the catching for Dillhoff. The Mariners on a 3-game skid. They were atop the East just a couple games ago and now trail the Orleans Firebirds by 1 point. Then as for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, they're currently in third in the West Division, just a handful of points ahead of the Falmouth Commodores and also 1 point ahead of the Cotuit Kettleers, who is currently locked into a 0-0 battle at home. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks are going to be keeping a close eye on that ball game as they play in this one. The Hawks sending up Ryan McKay, second baseman tonight, left-handed hitter, to take on the lefty in Parker Dilhoff. And although it sounds like a matchup that might favor the lefty and on the mound, lefty hitters for Hyannis have done pretty well this season.
They really have, and I think one of the big impacts is that they're comfortable with the arm angle. When I talked to Jake Schaffner about it, of course, left-handed hitter, not in the starting lineup tonight for Mitch Carricker, he says it's just kind of a weirder arm angle. Of course, righties tend to prefer hitting lefties, but a guy like Ryan McKay leading off says he actually prefers the left-on-left slider, which is something that I've never heard because that is one of the toughest pitches to hit in all in baseball. So if you have guys who are comfortable hitting lefties, you have righties, of course, who are going to like seeing it, you can have a good advantage going into this night.
McKay has been held fairly quiet by these Harwich Mariners. He's only 1 for 13 over the course of the season-long series. He also has a walk in there, but struck out 4 times. First pitch is inside, and we're underway. Ball 1 to Ryan McKay, 6:32 p.m. on a rather chilly day here in Harwich, Massachusetts. Wind's pretty blustery as well, 68 degrees currently. Second pitch just catches the inside of the zone on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, 1-1 count. McKay has found his production as of late like nothing really happened. He went 1 for 17 from mid-July to late July as he takes a fastball low. That's an .059 average. Now he's 5 for his last 14. That average up at .357. He's walked 5 times over the past 5 games as well. It's 2-1. Chopped down the first base side. Playable for Kyle Wolf. He's got to toss it, and he botches the toss. Ryan McKay gets there.
I think Kyle Wolf honestly lost that chopper in the sun. It looked like he didn't come in and charge that, almost stepped back. And Ryan McKay, credit him for hustling, but kind of a break for the Harbor Hawks.
Well, as we've talked about throughout the course of the season, Hyannis leadoff hitters have kind of been up and down. Right now, leadoff batters with a .236 average, 41 walks, 61 strikeouts. Ryan McKay gets aboard his first time up. Parker Brocious takes a fastball that catches the outside corner just around the knees, strike 1. Brocious still relatively new to this Harbor Hawks team, although he did play for the Hawks for a short stint in 2024. His 0-1 skips in. McKay is kept over. Now he's caught in a rundown. Kyle Wolf tosses it over to Jake Coonan, the second baseman. Now back to the pitcher, Dilhoff. Ryan McKay still battling. He slips on the dirt. And Dilhoff tags him out for the first out of the inning.
What a pick by Matt Conti. Ryan McKay was reading the pitch, which was spiked about 57, 56 feet. So about 4 feet shy of home plate. An unbelievable job behind the plate. So he was kind of going on that arm action and unfortunately caught stealing.
Just like that, the leadoff single for Ryan McKay wiped away. Parker Brocious dealing with 1 out, a 1-1 count, and empty bases in this ball game. Brocious takes a breaking pitch inside for ball 2. Brocious, his first game was against these Harwich Mariners back at home on July 22nd. As the 2-1 dips low, 3-1. He went 1 for 3, brought home a runner, drew a walk, struck out, and was also hit by a pitch. Since then, he's kind of been a little bit up and down. Hits in 3 of the 7 games that he has played in. But he hasn't been able to streak together a hitting streak. 3-1 outside, 5-pitch walk for Brocious.
That only amplifies, going back to your point about the hitting streak, why it's so important for guys to ride the hot hand when they're feeling good at the plate. Ryan McKay, a prime example, a guy who started off the summer really hot, had a bit of a slow stretch, got hot again, slowed down, and now he's hot once more.
Coming into this ball game, the Harwich Mariners tied with Orleans in the fewest batters walked at 129. Working an early one there for Brocious and the Harbor Hawks could be really important. Bunt shown from Luigi. He pulls it back and takes a strike on the outside corner. Dilhoff, in the 2 games that he played with the West Virginia Black Bears. They were both starts. Only dealt for 2 innings once, and then 1 1/3 the other time. His 0-1 fastball upstairs, 1-1 count. His first start was really solid. 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. But the second time he dealt, which was back on July 12th, he allowed 6 hits and 7 runs. Only 2 of them were earned. Runner goes. The pitch is high for a ball. Parker Brocious gets into second base safely.
Well, I was going to say it's going to be interesting to see how much Hyannis tests Matt Conti, considering you got the Southpaw Dilhoff on the mound, because you're going to have to go first move. And he went first move, and it worked out.
The Harbor Hawks have only attempted to steal 1 base over the last 4 ball games. 2-1, Brocious goes again, the front games. 2-1, Brocious goes again, the front door is closed, and he slides in safely. Back-to-back stolen bags for Brocious. First run for Hyannis, 90 feet away with the All-Star Jeff Lugie up to the plate. Now the infield will come into the grass. 2-2 pitch, fastball upstairs. Conti had to reach well up to make sure that ball stayed in front of him.
For Harwich, it wouldn't be the end of the world if they put Lugie on or walk him, because it would set up that double play ball with 1 out in the inning.
Full count. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball gets Lugie low and away. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, Lugie was just guessing something else right there. Kind of changed his mind in the middle. It's that tough left-on-left matchup. I know the Harbor Hawks have strong numbers against lefties, but it still doesn't make it easy.
It's going to bring up Jace Doby. Doby, a righty. One of 5 in this lineup that are right-handed for Mitch Carricker. First pitch he sees, a fastball up and away, ball 1. Doby currently with a .222 batting average, 2-game hitless streak, but he's drawn a walk in each of them, kind of finding ways to play small ball. 1-0. Misses outside, another fastball, 2-0.
And we already saw the first baseman Wolf lose the high chopper in the sun. All the outfielders shielding. Something in the air might get down. It's that time of day where it's just so tough.
2-0, 2 outs. Grounded to the third baseman, Fultz. Gets it on a couple hops in his throw in time to retire Doby and keep Brocious at bay. Hawks can't bring one around, although he was 90 feet away. We're heading to the bottom of the first inning on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom of the first inning, Hyannis and Harwich facing off for a 4th and final time. Here is the batting order for the Mariners. Tanner Marsh is going to lead off, as he has done pretty much all season long, followed by Nico Brini and Aiden Robbins, who has been phenomenal for the Mariners all season long. Patrick Fultz bats cleanup with Matt Conti and Jake Coonan behind. Then Kyle Wolf, Peter Link, and Ryan Garrity round up the starting 9 for the Harwich Mariners. They're going up against Max Stammel, making his 3rd start of his Cape League season. Man, his last one was pretty. Against Bourne, took 62 pitches to get through 5 innings. He allowed 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. And the pretty tall lefty is going to have a pretty strong task on his hand, taking down a Mariners team that, although the numbers don't suggest they're a good hitting team, have been pretty hot as of late.
Yeah, they really have, and of course they're riding that bit of a skid, but You know, the bats can explode at any moment. Of course, in the Cape League, it's all the firepower, the best college baseball, so the best bats. And all these guys, you know, they say the wood bats might humble them a little bit, but they still got some power in their swing.
Stammel with a 3.31 ERA, over 16 and a third pitched. He's made 6 appearances. Only 2 of them have been starts. In fact, his first start at Bourne was then broken up by an appearance at Brewster. We went for 1 2/3. Very clean appearance. But he's going up against a really strong first 3, beginning with Tanner Marsh. Marsh, 3rd in the Cape League in batting average, right now at .293. 6th in the league in on-base percentage at .393. First pitch, swung on and missed. A fastball right down Broadway, and Marsh was just over at the top of it. Stammel's got a pretty strong mix. Fastball, changeup, and slider. The off-speed and the breaking ball coming much slower as the 0-1 is outside, 1-1. But he does a pretty good job of mixing everything in. It's not really one-pitch dominant from him.
Yeah, he really plays off that fastball. Primary fastball pitcher, as are many guys.
Breaking ball fouled off into the glove of Dayton LaChance.
Kind of dropped the arm angle on that one, a little bit lower 3/4.
Stammel has found the zone 56% of the time this season over the course of 290 pitches. His 1-2. Taken to right field, but foul. No play for Devin Mitchell over in right. Take you through the defensive alignment. Jace Doby in left, Parker Brocious in center, Devin Mitchell at right. Left to right in the infield, Miles Davis, Charlie Bates, Ryan McKay, and Gabe Camacho, with Dayton LaChance catching for Max Stammel. 1-2 pitch for Marsh. Checks his swing on a pitch outside. He did not go around.
And you said a pitch outside. That was very far, but even the prospect that he thought about swinging shows how well he's tunneling his pitches, because he starts it on the outside part of the plate. Then you got the fastball that sticks and the breaking ball that goes inside.
2-2. Foul tip straight back. Breaking ball was high in the zone, and Marsh wasn't too happy he swung.
Yeah, another check swing foul ball, and you got to be feeling good if you're Max Stammel. He's got him on the yo-yo right here. See him pull the string.
Marsh leading off the inning for the Harwich Mariners. 2-2. Upstairs on a fastball. Full count. Full counts have not been kind to Hyannis as of late.
Really, during this whole season, the last month of July, we are now in August.
Payoff pitch. Inside, Marsh has to turn out of the way, and a leadoff walk for Tanner Marsh.
Well, a well-earned, I should say, free pass, because he saw a lot of pitches at bat, and Max Stammel was largely in the strike zone, but not able to get that out pitch. I guess he's still looking for that, and it's only the first bat of the game, so he's going to look for it, but he wants to find that soon.
We've talked about the two sides of Hyannis pitching a lot this season. They've struck out the most batters in the Cape League, but at the same time have walked the second most batters in the Cape League. That number now at 176. They haven't been able to find that middle ground really since the beginning of the season. Nico Brini takes a ball outside. Fastball just misses at the belt. Brini.
Last time the Harbor Hawks were here, they struck out 18 as well, to your point.
Check over on the runner, and Marsh is safe. Hyannis pitching has struck out the Harwich Mariners 39 times over 3 games coming into this ball game. Have also walked them 13 times. 1-0. Shown bunt, a stab, and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. Marsh stays over at first. Nico Brini has hit pretty well for power. Is tied for the most doubles on the team at 6. That's 8th in the league. But also trying to play a little bit of small ball. Check over. The 1-1 is going to have to wait for Brini. Marsh is safe. Small ball has been very effective against these Harbor Hawks. It's not always the big hits that have plagued them. Just when a runner gets on first, it's been hard for the pitching to lock it down. 1-1, runner goes. And pulled right at Ryan McKay. No play at second. He goes to first base and records the first out of the inning.
Perfectly executed hit and run right there. Of course, it would be even more perfect if he hit it to shortstop because Charlie Bates covering. That would make an open left side, but still, that's exactly what Harwich wants, a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Brings up by far the best hitter on the team in Aiden Robbins. Robbins, the second best batting average in the Cape League at .303. Leads the team in home runs, hits, doubles, and is the second most RBIs. Stammel comes home, and it's fouled off down the first base line, 0-1 count. Robbins, although he's had a lot of success this season, he struggled against the Harbor Hawks. Wasn't here the first time they faced off. But in games 2 and 3, 0 for 4 and 0 for 5, a combined 5 strikeouts. Stammel's 0-1. Just outside on a fastball, 1-1 count. And Tanner Marsh was kind of dancing over there at second base.
Yeah, trying to just take any pressure he can off Robbins, who's already a good hitter.
The 1-1. Breaking ball outside. 2-1.
And these Mariners are being very selective. Talk about, of course, the pitching is what headlines them as their identity. They also have a very good approach in the box.
Mariners trying to strike first. 2-1. Flied down the first base side again. Both strikes, Aiden Robbins, have been foul balls. He's just so good at making contact. Everything that's over the plate, he seems to fight off. Doesn't really expand the zone as we've seen already in this at-bat.
And he's waiting to buy his pitch because then Stammel's going to be forced to go more over the plate because the corners, nothing gives, and that's when he can get extended and hit the gaps.
1 out in the inning, a runner on second base. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Stammel pulls the string. His first strikeout of the ball game.
He stays on the outside part of the plate, and that's really what he can do considering that lower three-quarter arm slot because it's already coming from that direction. He can establish all his pitches from that part of the plate. The fastball stays away. The slider goes in. The changeup tails away, as we saw right there, and you got a weak swing from one of their best hitters.
Robbins, although he has been phenomenal, has struggled in that strikeout category. 36 coming into this ball game, second most on the team. So if there's anything to tag him for, it would be that. Patrick Fultz takes a big cut and misses. First pitch breaking ball, 0-1. Fultz just playing in his 4th game of the season with the Harwich Mariners. Has 3 hits with 9 at-bats, or over 9 at-bats, with 1 RBI and 2 walks. 0-1, breaking ball outside again, 1-1. And although he's very new, he's kind of come in and picked up right where he left off with the Champion City Kings in the Prospect League. 3 ball games played, 3 hits for Fultz. This time he cues one right at Charlie Bates, the shortstop. Charges in, makes a throw on the run, and it's in time to Gabe Camacho for the 3rd out. Tanner Marsh works a leadoff walk, but nobody can bring him home. Knotted up at 0 heading into the top of the 2nd.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Top of the 2nd inning, 0-0 ball game, but both teams with an opportunity there early. A little bit more of the same, what we've seen from these two teams in the season-long series. having chances with runners in scoring position, but nobody able to bring him around.
And it comes back to that theme of the big hit. And, of course, anytime you can put pressure on early, Hyannis and Harwich will take it. They rather have an opportunity with runners in scoring position that they can't convert on than none, because at least it means that they're getting guys on base. They're manufacturing runs, as we saw Brocious steal second and third base. And you got to figure with good pitching like this, still something's got to give eventually.
Parker Dilhoff allowed a single and then walked Parker Brocious to begin his first start in the Cape League, but then really shut things down. Struck out Luigi, got Jace Doby to ground out Weekly. He's got a really good 5-pitch mix.
Yeah, he really sells it with the cutter in there. Fastball comes in around the high 90s, but the cutter actually a little bit slower at low 90s, 92, 93.
Gabe Camacho takes a pitch downstairs for ball 1.
And the difference with that is that sometimes if a guy's sitting on a fastball and a guy's cutter is a similar velocity, he's able to adjust on a pitch-by-pitch basis. With that, it's different.
1-0, Camacho swings through a pitch that just dives right as it gets to the plate, but still comes in at 97. That fastball has been deadly. A little bit of sink to it. He's also got a slider, a changeup, and a curveball. Camacho grounds one at Jake Coonan, the second baseman. One away in the inning. Brings up Dayton LaChance, who's had a very interesting start to his Cape League season. Coming off a 3-for-4 performance against Bourne. And the most interesting part is the difference when he's catching compared to when he's DHing. When he's catching, he's 2 for 15 at the plate. When he's DHing, 8 for 17. With 4 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 4 strikeouts. Maybe the only thing you can really knock him down for. His first pitch, curveball, locates right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. But as you've mentioned a couple times, some guys just really like being able to focus on hitting.
Yeah, and at the same time, some guys don't like it at all. They want to be DHs only, or they want to be in the field.
Foul tip right down below Matt Conti, 0-2 count.
But for a guy like LaChance, of course, we can't speak to him personally, but clearly there's a statistical difference.
A 3-for-4 performance against Bourne last night. Also had a 4-for-4 performance against Bourne the last time that he DH'd before last night's ball game. So the other thing we're not considering is it could just be Bourne. He might just play the Braves very, very well. He's got an 0-2 count. Pulls one down the third base line, but foul. Really had to reach out there and grab it. LaChance, a .256 average over the course of 10 games. Still very new to the Harbor Hawks. .0-2. He fouls it off again. Good fight early on from LaChance.
And a good job by Dilhoff to change speeds, because he noticed that LaChance was way out ahead on that changeup where he got the foul ball. Then he tries to blow him away with the fastball. And going from 84 to 98, LaChance has to make that swing-by-swing adjustment. That's impressive.
LaChance, the second batter in the inning. His 0-2. Swung on and missed, but a drop third strike. Matt Conti is going to race back and won't be able to make a throw in time. So LaChance gets on first base. Still only one out in the inning.
And Hyannis will take that. Any way they can get on base, try to manufacture runs. Of course, LaChance not blazing speed, and especially with Dilhoff, the left-hander on the mound, probably won't see any first move steal attempts. But you got a guy like Charlie Bates coming up who can make an impact.
Charlie Bates has cooled off a little bit since the middle of July when he was red hot. This is his first pitch. Catches the inside of the zone with that cutter. 0-1. Bates. He's one, as he fouls one off. He's 1 for his last 12. That hit coming against Chatham on July 26th. That comes after a really hot beginning in middle of the month of July when it seemed like he hit everything that he saw.
And he even started July 0 for 10 with that stretch from June carrying in, but then he had that 6-game hitting streak where he just turned into kind of a different animal.
So 2, Just misses outside on a breaking ball. Bates 0 for 11 against the Mariners. He's played in every game these two teams have faced off in. There's 1-2. Chopped down the right field line, fielded by Wolf. He's going to toss it to his pitcher, and Dilhoff just beats him to the bag. Bang, bang play. And first base umpire Anthony Brunetti says that the pitcher beat the runner.
Well, it was really close. Of course, we don't have the best angle, but Charlie Bates chugging it down the line. We've seen a couple guys trying to bid for base hits. Ryan McKay got it done. And that first inning, Bates just, so close.
Still a productive out. Moved Dayton LaChance over to second base. 2 outs in the inning. Miles Davis climbs into the righty's box. Davis cracks the first pitch to short. Tanner Marsh is called off by Fultz, who makes a great throw to end the inning. Dayton LaChance was over at second thanks to a dropped third strike. A 4-out inning to keep it 0-0.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
You gotta love the nine. 0-0 ball game heading into the bottom of the second between Hyannis and Harwich. Harwich going to be sending up 5, 6, 7 in the bottom of the second. Hyannis has really been cleaning things up on the defensive end. Over the past 7 games, Hyannis has walked 4 or fewer in 5 of them, which doesn't seem like much, but that's actually a pretty big deal considering what we saw in the middle and beginning of July.
And right when they played these Mariners exactly 1 month ago, that was kind of the start of the end in terms of how things were going. Hyannis honestly played a pretty clean game, and something that we talked about is that even during the stretch where Hyannis was really walking a lot and that walks per 9 crept over 5 for as a team, it seems like whenever they play really good competition, they almost play up to that competition. They kind of match it. And a team like Harwich that is nails on the mound might be interesting to see if Hyannis tries to match them tonight as well.
Well, it was a bit of a slow start for Stammel. He did walk the first batter that he saw, but he locked back in immediately.
Yeah, and that's hard to do, especially after a lengthy plate appearance to Tanner Marsh, because he made a lot of good pitches, and it's frustrating when they don't bite.
Matt Conti leads off the inning, playing in his 24th ball game for the Mariners. Swings at the first pitch, sends it down the first base line. Devin Mitchell in right has no play. Conti has gotten on base in 15 straight ball games. He was on a 9-game hit streak heading into Harwich's most recent game against Hyannis on July 22nd. Actually didn't get a hit in that ball game. That ended the hit streak, but he kept the on-base streak going. Swings and misses on an 0-1 changeup. That pitch has been nasty for Stammel.
Yeah, that's really tough against that right-handed hitter, and especially during my playing days. I did not actually like facing lefties very often because of that changeup, especially if you don't see it often. It's kind of a tough welcome.
0-2. He goes right back to it. This time it misses low and away. Stammel in both of his starts allowed a handful of hits, but did not allow a run the last time that he started. As the 1-2 fastball misses upstairs. 64 pitches to cover 5 innings. He was pretty efficient for a guy that only has found the zone around 50% of the time. That's really encouraging, just leaning on that weak contact and being able to get those outs. 2-2 inside, fastball misses again, full count.
And this is what the Mariners do well, and this is when Hyannis gets into trouble when they do jump ahead, but they fall behind. But a lot of these misses are competitive for Stammel, so you can't really knock them in that category.
3-2. Sent to right field. Devin Mitchell underneath it. Records the first out of the inning. First time we've seen a baseball get out of the infield in this ball game. Been a lot of weak contact on both sides of the ball. As Jake Coonan is going to come to the plate. Coonan wasn't here the first time these two teams faced off, but played in games 2 and 3. He's 2 for 7 over the course of those two games, with a home run in the second game that ended up being a tie. Takes a fastball upstairs. We've talked about that changeup being really strong for Stammel. The fastball's kind of missed.
Yeah, it has, and it's only the second inning, so still looking to get comfortable with all of his pitches, but he's got a long time to go.
1-0 pulled at Miles Davis. It boots off his glove. He's still able to make a throw. It's just late, and Coonan gets on first base.
Well, he hit it really hard, and it was a tough hop for Davis. Honestly, one of those in-betweeners. And you got to give him credit where he tried to recover, just beat it out, did Coonan.
Number 34, Kyle Wolf.
Miles Davis has had a tough time over there at third base. Handful of errors already this season. He's hoping that this one will go down as a single. It was hit pretty hard, but still waiting for the official score. As Kyle Wolf comes up to the plate with one out in the bottom of the second. 0-0 ball game, and Coonan over at first. And he takes a changeup away for ball one. It is called a single. So the Mariners have their first hit of the ball game. One-0. Fouled straight back. Kyle Wolf just a little bit underneath the fastball. Wolf making his 25th start for the Harwich Mariners this season, but interestingly has not played against these Harbor Hawks at all. Can be a good thing, though, to bring in a guy who hasn't seen the pitching yet to just kind of be a fresh eye, a fresh look. Pickoff over at first base. Camacho makes a throw to McKay, and the runner's safe. Jake Coonan just slid underneath the tag of Ryan McKay, got a really nice jump.
And the difference in that was that Stammel's throw to Camacho was high, and that split second extra time that Camacho had to jump up before making the throw is what cost him.
Back-to-back innings where the Mariners have had a runner in scoring position. Mariners couldn't bring that runner around in the first. 1-1, catches the zone, low and inside. That time it was the slider from Stammel. I haven't seen that pitch from him as much, especially to the right-handed hitters, but that time he goes for it, and it locates. One out in the inning. 1-2. Fouled straight back. That time the fastball just couldn't quite blow by Kyle Wolf. Wolf on a 2-game hitless streak. Trying to turn that around here. Did not play or did not start in yesterday's ball game against YD, but played first base for his teammate Sam DiCarlo, who was pinch hitting. Check over on the runner at second, and Jake Coonan is safe. This is where Hyannis has struggled as of late. The second someone gets over in scoring position, the pitchers just kind of seem to lose momentum.
Yeah, it does, and especially for Stammel, who's pitched pretty cleanly, but he still doesn't seem to have a great feel for all of his pitches, and he really wants to develop that moving forward.
Runner goes. Front door is closed, and LaChance couldn't even make a throw anyway. He lost the ball in the transfer. It was a slider inside and low, so it's a 2-2 count with one out. Coonan with back-to-back stolen bases.
Harwich and Hyannis playing very similar games. We saw Brocious do the exact same thing.
First time that the Mariners have had a runner over at third base. 2-2. Cued down the first base line. It just goes foul. We'll do the 2-2 pitch again. Coonan has to retreat to third base.
And all these plate appearances pretty lengthy. That sweet spot where guys want to get out of it within 4 pitches. But they're seeing a lot of Stammel, and that's just going to make them more comfortable moving forward.
That was the 6th pitch of the plate appearance for Kyle Wolf. The 2-2 swung straight through. 2 Ks on the day for Max Stammel, and a very, very big one there early on in the game.
Well, he goes back to the fastball there. We talked a little bit earlier this inning that it seems like he's still trying to find his bearings on that pitch. If he can get that down, he's going to be dangerous because then he could play off anything.
Hyannis has really struggled this season when scoring second in a ball game. 2-12-2 record. First pitch swung on and missed by Peter Link. All of a sudden, Stammel has found that Blue Bayou pitch. On the other side of that coin, Hyannis 14-5-2 when scoring first. 0-1. Misses low on the changeup. Link, a newer name and newer face to the Harwich Mariners team, making his first start of his Cape League season tonight. Rising junior at Sacred Heart University. 1-1, swings through a slider. Stands at 6'7", 218 pounds. Bottom of the second, 2 outs. Jake Coonan at third. 1-2, fouled straight behind home plate. A couple guys have gotten right underneath that pitch, that fastball for Max Stammel, but they can't quite make contact.
And the one time they did, it was hit pretty hard. It was that fly out to Devin Mitchell to start this inning where they squared it up. But it's efficient. I'm sure that RPM's high.
1-2. Stammel sits down Link and sends the Mariners back empty. Jake Coonan manufactures his way to third base, can't come home. Still 0-0 heading into the top of the third.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Top of the third inning, 0-0 ball game between Hyannis and Harwich. The first day of August, let's take a little bit of a look through the difference in numbers, difference in stats between Hyannis in June and July. We've talked a lot about the defense, about the pitching, how Hyannis' ERA is almost a full run and a half higher than it was in June. But in July, looking at the offense even, about a 30-point difference in batting average. The bats also just kind of went cold in a way that we didn't really see in June. Devin Mitchell is going to lead off the inning, 9-hole hitter for the Harbor Hawks. Sends the first pitch to center field. Nico Brini makes a little side-handed catch for the first out of the inning.
And a lot of that, Graham, comes back to just the fact that they lost a lot of guys. Of course, Team USA towards the end of June, big bats like Andrew Williamson and Hayden Federico. And all of a sudden, a lot of that slug, that power, the OPS, of course, going down.
Of the split, the slug and the OPS is probably the most jarring difference. Hyannis led the league in slugging and OPS in June. And July, they're bottom of the table. Ryan McKay takes a fastball up and in, his second time coming up to home plate.
I mean, a team 759 OPS in June. Now, as we are on August 1st, it's below 700.
McKay sends the 1-0 to center field. Nico Brini lets it bounce in front of him. McKay, 2 for 2 on the day.
Well, that's baseball. Devin Mitchell hit it on the screws. No dice. McKay, a little bloop to center. He grabs another base hit.
I think another shocking difference has been the walks for Hyannis' offense. Drew the most walks in the Cape League in June, but the 4th most in July. As Parker Brocious lets one skip in, Ryan McKay is going to run over and take second base. Last time up, Ryan McKay got caught in a rundown between first and second. This time he makes it to second base safely. But even Hyannis's eyes seem to take a little bit of a dip in July. The walks weren't there in the same way that they were in June. 1-0 to Brocious. He's late to a cutter.
When things aren't going well, guys get a little bit anxious. They get a little swing happy. And sometimes you try to do too much, and that's when you expand the zone, and the eye goes down, more strikeouts as well.
1-1, Brocious late to another pitch. Brocious did play against Harwich in 2024 during a short stint. Did not get a hit, 0 for 2, but drew 3 walks. Did such a good job just getting on base. He takes a ball that time on a fastball inside, 2-2. Another interesting difference between Brocious in 2024 and Brocious now is in 2024, he stole 4 bases in his first 5 ball games. He had not attempted to steal a base through his first 7. He swings through a bending fastball. 2-2 turns into 2-3. 2 outs in the inning. And it feels like that just kind of coincides with a little bit of a different approach from maybe the coaching staff. Mitch Carricker did not try to steal nearly as many bases in July.
Yeah, it's kind of an ideology thing, especially when there's other guys stealing bases as well, as we saw in June. Hyannis, very aggressive. Then in July, when you're just struggling to get hits together, it kind of takes that thought out of your mind a little bit more.
Jeff Lugie takes a fastball up for ball 1. Lugie leading the team in batting average, on base percentage, and RBIs. His .306 batting average would be tied for second right now in the Cape League if it counted, as he takes a 1-0 fastball for a strike. And he'd be tied with Harwich's Aiden Robbins, who's currently in solo second in the Cape League in batting average. 1-1, right down Broadway. Healthy dose of fastballs right now from Dilhoff.
And that's the pitch that he got Lugie to strike out on back in the first inning. Had him guessing, and clearly he's going back to the gas.
1-2. Goes to the gas that time, but it misses outside. Lugie coming off an 0 for 2 performance against Bourne, but he drew 2 walks. He's drawn multiple walks in 4 of his last 5 ball games. Deuce is wild. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Jeff Lugie. 0-0 ball game as we send it to Ethan Wax, who has more.
Thank you very much, Graham. With just 3 games remaining to be played entering today, the Cape League could be entering its wildest weekend ever. Of the 10 teams, only 1 has been eliminated, and the top 4 teams in the Eastern Division are separated by just a single point, meaning it could go down to the final game of the season before playoff matchups are determined. The 2 divisions have had parity perhaps like never before. Orleans, the current Eastern Division leader, after a 5-game winning streak, was mired in 4th place just 2 weeks ago. Harwich trails Orleans despite having a 31-run better differential. The Western Division is just as jumbled, with the top 4 teams in the East having all clinched playoff berths. In the West, only Wareham has. The Gatemen, who hold a 2-point lead over Bourne, could still finish as low as 4th. Hyannis's play this season has been as erratic as any team. The Harbor Hawks entered July in 1st place, but after going 7-14-3 in July, during which the team briefly sunk to last place just 8 days ago, it could finish anywhere from 1st in the West to missing the playoffs. Now back to the guys in the booth. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Ethan. It really is a tight race right now in the West Division. The East has already been decided. Chatham is going to miss playoffs, but in the West, only the Gatemen have clinched a playoff spot. Hyannis, again, with a win and a Falmouth loss, can get to the same level as those in the East in Wareham, but it hasn't come easy as of late. Hyannis with some seriously tough losses.
And it's just so crucial that any team makes the playoffs, because you know what they say. Once you're in, anything can happen. Whatever happened in the season, struggles, it doesn't matter anymore.
Another new Mariner is going to lead off the inning. Ryan Garrity takes a slider right down Broadway for strike one. Garrity, 6 foot, 190-pound rising junior at Northeastern.
Go Huskies.
Very own Max Schwartzberg, a Northeasterner. 0-1, sent up the middle. Ryan McKay stops it on a dive and throws a strike for the first out.
Well, that's a beautiful play. Kind of had to slide forward on the backhand and gets up, throws out Garrity, who's got some speed. Second on the Huskies this past spring in stolen bases.
It flips the order to Tanner Marsh, who drew a leadoff walk his first time up to the plate. Max Stammel only making his third start of his Cape League season. Came in, was a pretty strong reliever for Mitch Carricker. Didn't allow an earned run through his first 2 appearances as he deals one low to Tanner Marsh. For him to make this adjustment to a starter pretty comfortably is very impressive, and I'm sure Mitch Carricker's taking notes as we head to playoffs. 1-0, sent to left field. Parker Brocious and Doby racing to the territory. Brocious can't make the play, or he does. Wow.
A couple unbelievable plays to start this inning. You could have 2 on. You could have a run for Harwich after what could have been a leadoff single and then what could have been an extra base hit. Max Stammel owes some guys dinners tonight.
With that sun setting, it's also getting hard to see in that outfield. But Broch is kind of in that sweet spot where there's a little bit of shade. He was able to make the catch. Brings up Nico Brini. 2 quick outs for Max Stammel in the third. First pitch, fastball foul tipped. Right back into the glove of Dayton LaChance. That was the 44th pitch for Stammel. In 5 innings against Bourne, he threw 62 pitches. So on track for a little bit more in this ballgame if he were to go for 5. 0-1. Skied into center field. Parker Brocious sprinting in, called off, and he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down, very quick. Bottom of the third, and a 0-0 ball game heading into the middle innings.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Top of the 4th inning and a new pitcher on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. It is Jack Volo, right-handed pitcher from Georgetown, making his 2nd appearance for the Harwich Mariners in this 2025 season. He's dealt for 1 2/3 this season, allowed 1 hit and 2 walks, struck out 1, but no runs came across. He kept it pretty clean in his first appearance. Has not played any summer ball action. Rare at this point for teams to go out and get someone who hasn't played much summer ball. We've seen a lot of guys from the NECBL now that their regular season is overcome to the Cape Cod Baseball League, but he is fresh out of college right now.
And it's an opportunity here. He's looking to make an impact, and maybe he did some live bullpens or something like that, because it's pretty tough to hit the ground running, especially this late into the summer. But that and closes the door on an impressive start from Parker Dilhoff. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. And kind of reflective of the way Stammel's done, trying to just set guys down early and fast.
Dilhoff did a really good job back in the third. Ryan McKay got on first, went to second on a wild pitch, and Dilhoff responded with back-to-back Ks. Parker Brocious and Jeff Lugie, 2 guys who are pretty hot right now, couldn't find his pitches. Jace Doby takes a curveball upstairs, comes in at 77 miles per hour. Bolo stands at 5'11", 195 pounds. Going into his junior year at Georgetown. There's another curveball, just catches the outside corner. Doby on a 6-game on-base streak as of now. He grounded out his first time up. Fouls one down the third baseline. His count goes to 1-2. He was on a 7-game hit streak right when he came to the Cape League. But an 0-for-4 performance at Chatham ended that. But he picked right back up with that on-base streak. His 1-2. Curveball misses inside. 2-2 count. That seems to be Volo's favorite pitch.
Yeah, he really likes the breaking ball, and that could set up the fastball, especially if he starts it on the inside part of the plate, as he did right there with that breaking ball. That straightened him up.
2-2 for Doby. Taken outside, 3-2. Doby, a rising senior at Nevada, 2-way player, though he's only hit here for the Harbor Hawks. Payoff pitch. Flied down the first baseline, foul. It's the first time we've seen a pitch from Volo come in above 85 miles per hour. He was really slowing it down in the high 70s there for a bit. Another payoff pitch. Curveball inside. Doby earns a leadoff walk.
And this is what Hyannis needs to do. They have to have pesky at-bats like that, where you're able to fight pitches foul on the corners, looking for one over the plate, and then like that you get the walk, and it sets up Gabe Camacho, who doesn't have to suffer through another left-on-left.
Camacho coming off a 2-for-2 performance against Bourne, where he pinch hit. Came in for Devin Mitchell, who pinch hit for Sawyer Black, or pinch ran and played defense for Sawyer Black in right field. Camacho fouls back the first pitch he sees. For him to come in like that in that ball game and eventually be the winning run just kind of speaks to how good of a mindset he has coming in.
You always got to be ready.
Check over at the base runner, and Doby slides in safely. Camacho was 0 for his last 7 going into last night's ball game. Went 2 for 2. Crossed home plate is the winning run on a wild pitch from Will Whelan, Bourne's go-to closer. Camacho digs one out of the bottom of the zone, but sends it foul. 0-2 count. And although he was 0 for 7 over his past 2 ball games before that relief appearance against Bourne, he has still been an unbelievable hitter as of late, working a .363 average over his last now 8 ball games. 0-2. Nice take on a breaking ball inside, 1-2.
Yeah, really professional take right there, because he had just seen the fastball. That's when he fouled back. Then he tries to slow it up a little bit. And as you mentioned, trying to just change up the speeds, always keep the hitters off balance, and Camacho knows what he's doing.
1-2. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. This is what Jace Doby did. Doby went down early, worked it back to a full count, and earned a walk. Played some of that pesky baseball.
And what it forces the pitcher to do is put it over the plate, and that's when these guys get extended.
2-2. Fastball lined into right field. Gabe Camacho has a hit. Doby goes over to second. With no outs in the inning, the The Hawks have 2 on with no outs.
Well, case in point right there. Tried to go with the fastball. This time left it in the strike zone a little bit too much to Gabe Camacho's liking. And he has seen the ball well. We mentioned those 2 hits yesterday. Both hit on the screws. Pretty hard ground out as well against the starter, Parker Dilhoff. And right there, more of the same for the UCSD product.
Camacho coming into this ball game had 3 multi-hit performances over his last 5 ball games on an unbelievable tear to end the month of July. As Dayton LaChance comes up to the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up, but it was a dropped third strike from Conti behind the plate. He takes a curveball upstairs for ball 1. LaChance was able to get over to first base, but could only get as far as second. Miles Davis could not bring him home. LaChance now with runners on first and second, no outs. And he fouls one off, fastball.
LaChance certainly a ground ball double play candidate. So we might see some stuff low in the zone, but if he's able to get extended with those long arms, he can lift it in the air.
He's grounded into 2 double plays already this season with the Hawks. Through 10 games. Takes a fastball low and away, 2-1 count. LaChance, when he has struggled, it feels like he's kind of gulfed everything out of the bottom of the zone. Hit a lot of fly balls, not a piercing line drive. 2 on, nobody out. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses low, 3-1.
And these Hyannis at-bats this inning have been really impressive because it's frustrating for a pitcher when you're throwing really good competitive misses to not have them get swings. And then, as you saw with Camacho, you have to put one in the zone and then they rip a hit.
3-1. Pulled to left field. He gets down in front of Peter Link. Doby gets the wave around third. Cutoff throw is well late. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks strike first in the top of the 4th, 1-0.
And Hyannis earned that run. You had that leadoff walk to Doby, who fell behind in the count early. Camacho falls behind as well, then works a single. And then LaChance, also behind in the count, gets one over the plate and gulfs another pitch low, just as we talked about.
The middle innings have not been kind to Hyannis, or were not kind in the month of July. Every time we reached innings 4, 5, and 6, the offense just totally stalled. So for the Hawks to get that first run in the 4th has to be so refreshing for manager Mitch Carricker. Charlie Bates takes a fastball low for ball 1. Bates grounded out his first time up back in the 2nd inning. Still working with 2 on and nobody out. Gabe Camacho in scoring position at second base. 1-0. Pulled down the first baseline, chopped slowly. A botched play from Wolf. He has to toss it to first. And Volo was late. A very late reaction and call from first base umpire Anthony Brunetti. He said that it was a bobble.
Very late indeed. Usually they run over to look at the play closer, but he kind of just stood there. And usually when that happens, they make an out call a couple seconds later. Everybody's safe, and wheels are starting to come off for Harwich, and there's a mound visit.
Mound visit for the Mariners. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen down the third baseline. No score yet on what that will be for Bates, but it was originally a pretty poor play from Wolf, who just kind of looked up a little too early trying to make a double play.
Yeah, classic case of not doing the ball first. That's what they always teach you in practice, and you say, yes, I know, coach. But then when you're in the game, oh my gosh, you got to get to the second. He's running fast. The ball wasn't hit hard. You go a little bit too fast, and all of a sudden you didn't follow the rules and had it right there.
Sounds like you have a pretty tragic memory of that happening to you.
It's happened multiple times.
Well, Volo stays up on the mound. Nobody out. Bases loaded for Miles Davis. Davis takes a curveball that catches the top of the zone. And it's called a fielding error from Kyle Wolf, the first baseman, that allows Charlie Bates to get over to first. First error in the ball game for either side. Davis takes a breaking ball, low and away, ball 2. It's felt like Miles Davis has been on the edge of a big hit for a while. He's working his first 2-game hit streak of the Cape League season right now, playing in his 12th ball game. 1-1, fastball chopped down the third base line, and it goes just foul. Patrick Fultz nearly got that ball in fair territory, but it's called foul at the last second.
Also nearly took off the head of Gabe Camacho running home. It's kind of almost a scary play. But yeah, to your point, Davis has looked pretty good as of late, and of course that batting average hasn't risen the way he's wanted it to, but for a guy who's transferring into the SEC, Oklahoma Sooner incoming, you know that he could swing it, had success at JUCO.
He had above 375 his freshman year in JUCO at the State College of Florida. His 1-2, nice take, good spit on a breaking ball, 2-2 count.
He was originally the #1 prospect out of Iowa as well.
From Marion, Iowa. Nobody out, everybody on. 2-2. Fly to center field. Nico Brini steps in, makes the catch. Gabe Camacho on the move, the throw off the plate. And he doesn't even need to slide. 2 come home in the top of the 4th. And Hyannis with that 2-run lead.
Well, Miles Davis just missed it, but he will take an RBI nonetheless. And Hyannis against a pitching staff like Harwich that has been nails all season long. What's been most impressive for me this inning is the way that they've worked counts in each at-bat. Not a lot of first pitch outs. Of course, there's nothing wrong with aggression. Hyannis hitting .393 on the first pitch of an at-bat. But they're just being patient, and it's paying off.
Devin Mitchell, the 9-hole hitter, up for a second time. Hits the first pitch right into center field. Dayton LaChance is going to get held up at third base. And so the base is reloaded for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Devin Mitchell, a little bit of an ambush there.
Well, right to my point. Talked about how they were being patient. Then he goes with that ambush. That'll raise that .393 first pitch batting average. But Devin Mitchell back in the 3rd inning, he had a very sharp fly out to Nico Brini in center field. And it felt like this was a long time coming because his swing has looked really good.
And now another mound visit. This time it's Steve Englert, the manager of the Mariners. And he's going to take the ball away from Jack Volo, new pitcher coming in for Harwich. We'll tell you about him when we come back.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
New pitcher on the mound for the Harwich Mariners is Thomas Shirtleff, 6'2", 210-pound right-handed pitcher. Rising senior at the University of Pennsylvania, making his 10th appearance for the Harwich Mariners. He's been here for a decent amount of time, unlike the 2 pitchers before him in this ball game for the Mariners. Over 18 2/3. He's allowed 7 runs to come home, 6 of them earned. That's a 2.89 ERA. He's walked 6, struck out 16. He's a true strikeout thrower, and he's coming into a really sticky situation.
You can obviously use a strikeout right here, but what he wants more is a double play ball.
Bases loaded, 1 out in the inning. And Hyannis flipping it to the top of their batting order with Ryan McKay. McKay, Brocious, and Luigi, 1, 2, 3, the only Hawks to not get an at-bat, a plate appearance in this 4th inning. McKay, really the only guy in the top 3 to have success so far in this ball game as well.
And still neither of his swings hit too hard, but that doesn't matter in the scorebook. But he's got to be feeling good. Even if you don't feel your best at the plate, if you're 2 for 2, that brings some confidence into your at-bat right here.
McKay with 2 singles has his second multi-hit performance over the course of 4 games. Only time he didn't get a hit over the last 4 games was at Falmouth when he went 0 for 2. And we've got a bit of a
pitch comm issue, maybe?
Yeah, technical issue with the pitch comm.
If you saw this 10 years ago in the Cape League, you'd be like, what is that? The game has just changed so fast.
And probably going to change even more. I mean, the pitch clock was really a new innovation. Then you got pitch comm.
You got the ABS system in minor league baseball.
Exactly.
And there's already talk about implementing it as early as 2027 because the collective bargaining, got to get it right that time, agreement, I believe expires after 2026, so there'd be a new kind of set tone in MLB.
Shirtleff has a new pitch comm, or at least has a fixed pitch comm, and is ready to throw his first pitch of the appearance to Ryan McKay. He deals his fastball outside to Ryan McKay, coming in at 90 miles per hour. Bases loaded, one out in the top of the 4th. McKay spits on a changeup upstairs, 2-0. McKay's eye has been phenomenal over the past 5 games. He's walked 5 times over his past 5 games. That includes a 3-walk performance against Chatham on July 26th. The 2-0. McKay just underneath a fastball.
He's on it. That's what they know. Right when it goes back, that means you're on it. You're just under it. Timing was perfect and all. That one did look like it was a little bit on the outside part of the plate. We can't tell from our vantage point if it was off the plate. Probably not, as he's sitting in the good count. Doesn't want to expand.
He's got Parker Brocious on deck. 2-1 to McKay. He's just late to a fastball. It was right in that money zone, kind of middle low of the strike zone, where you can send that thing for a ride.
For Shirtleff, of course, we're waiting to see what his go-to pitch is, but it looks like the fastball because he's peppering it with that zone, but that's dangerous if you want to triple up. Roll the dice. I don't know.
2-2. Upstairs with a fastball, full count. McKay has LaChance at third, Charlie Bates at second, and Devin Mitchell over at first. Jay Stobie and Gabe Camacho have already come home for the Hawks to make it 2-0 in the top of the 4th. Full count. Swung on, foul-tipped, and caught by Matt Conti. 2 outs in the inning.
Well, that was all gas, that entire at-bat, and that's clearly the go-to pitch right here. So Parker Brocious probably going to go into this plate appearance with that in the back of his mind, but I have a hard time believing that's the only pitch he can go to because if he leaves it too far over the plate, these guys are going to adjust to the speed.
We saw one off-speed pitch, that entire at-bat to McKay. Missed up and away. Brocious swings at the first pitch, cues it foul down the first base line. Brocious 0 for 1 today, drew a walk his first time up to the plate, and then struck out most recently back in the 3rd inning. Already the 3rd time through this Hyannis batting order. It's only the top of the 4th. Brocious making his 6th start of the season for the Harbor Hawks. And he swings through a breaking pitch.
Yeah, clearly was fooled because for him to be that late, I think he was thinking something else. But you'd expect him to be out ahead then if he was guessing something else that wasn't the fastball.
2 outs in the inning. Bases loaded, 0-2 count. Shirtleff. It's a ground ball down the 3rd base line. It's foul. Brocious just out ahead.
Looks like LaChance almost instinctively tried to catch that ball. He put his arm out for everything, and he pulled it back. He's like, I probably shouldn't do that.
Probably not.
Good thing is he's in foul territory, so it wouldn't be an automatic out, but that also just really hurt your hand.
Yeah. Shirtliff locks back into an 0-2 count with 2 outs. The pitch. Fouled straight behind us. Max Schwartzberg thought he had a chance at catching a foul ball. Instead, he's got to watch a couple kids go over and fight for it.
Oh, I don't even know how to explain how excited I got right there. I thought for just a moment.
You were oh so close.
I was out of the crouch like right away.
You were. You popped up. That was an impressive first move. Still 0-2. Brocious fighting hard in his third plate appearance. He's fouled off 3 of the 4 pitches he's seen. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Shirtliff sends Hyannis back empty with the bases loaded. However, before he comes in, the Harbor Hawks get 2, make it 2-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Hyannis with a 2-0 lead after an offensive explosion in the top of the 4th. 8 of the 9 Harbor Hawks in that inning came up to the plate. They still left 3 stranded, though. Chance for more, but a really good pitching substitution. Thomas Shirtliff shut it down.
And we keep coming back to that big hit, which kind of the last time we've seen that to a big degree was that 25th Bourne win against the Braves, 12-0, where Hyannis had that a couple times, including Brocious with the bases loaded. He had a single off of the pitcher. Hyannis still, they'll take the 2-0 lead, but it looks like that was one where they were hungry for just a little bit more.
Harwich is going to try to respond, starting with their big hitter in Aiden Robbins. Robbins with the second best batting average in the Cape League. That's standing at .303, but he struck out his first time to the plate.
Leading off for the Mariners,
He's tied for the most doubles on this team with 6. Also leads the team in home runs with 6 and has brought home 14 runners. Currently working a 4-game hit streak and an 8-game on-base streak. Trying to extend that against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Sends the first pitch he sees into right center field. Brocious was cheating that way, but it falls in between him and Ryan McKay, the second baseman. A leadoff single for Aiden Robbins.
Well, that one just off the end of the bat. He had him out ahead. If you're Max Stamwell, it's frustrating. It was a weak hit. You would expect that to be an out. But keep your confidence. You fooled Aiden Robbins, their best hitter. Unfortunately for Stamwell, it is a leadoff knock.
Stamwell dealt incredibly quickly in that last inning. A 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the 3rd. Ground out and 2 flyouts to Parker Brocious in center, including a phenomenal grab from the center fielder. Patrick Foltz up for a second time. And he takes a fastball right at the knees for strike 1. Foltz playing in his 4th game of the Cape League season. Wasn't here for any of the 3 previous matchups between these two teams, but has gotten a hit in every game that he has played thus far with the Mariners. He fouls the 0-1 down the third base line. He's quickly down 0-2. Feels like that's another thing Stamwell has done pretty well, is getting ahead early.
Yeah, and these Mariners, like the Harbor Hawks have done when they're hitting, kind of pesky with these at-bats. Lots of lengthy plate appearances, so now it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts in the 2-strike count.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Stamwell with some crafty movement on the slider gets Foltz to swing through it.
The catcher.
A little left-on-left slide piece, and that is not easy to hit As Jake Shafter told me, the left-on-left slider, in his opinion, is the toughest pitch in all in baseball. Gabe Camacho agreed with that. A lot of guys struggle against changeups, but from the other side when you're a lefty, from the righties, that time the slider gets them away.
Matt Conti, right-hander, might be seeing the slider from Stammel in just a moment. Runner goes on the first pitch. It is the changeup outside for a ball, and the throw just late. Robbins slides into second base safely. The third stolen bag of the day for the Harwich Mariners.
Kind of do or die right now for Harwich, and it's important for these teams to put more pressure on a guy like Stammel, who's really found his rhythm. He had that 1-2-3 third inning. Got the strikeout of Foltz, but even that Robbins one, I would argue that was a quality at bat in terms of him on the mound, getting him out ahead on the changeup.
We've talked about Harwich having a bit of offensive struggles this season. They're 9th in the Cape League in average at .233. But they've stolen the third most bags, 68 coming into the ballgame. That's now already at 71 just in the first of the middle innings. They play some crafty baseball, just getting themselves in scoring position, manufacturing chances for their hitters. Conti takes strike one on a fastball, his count at 1-1. Conti trying to extend a 15-game on-base streak. That stretches all the way back to June 28th. He fouls off the 1-1 fastball straight behind us. June 28th, Harwich lost 4-3 to Orleans here at White House Field. The Firebirds right now just ahead of the Mariners in the East Division, trying to clinch that top spot. One out in the inning, a runner on second base. 1-2 to Conti. Sends it into left field, and it pierces into the outfield. Robbins held up at third. Runners on the corners with one out.
Another pitch that the Mariners just way out ahead of. That one also on the end of the bat. So Stammel, honestly, a streak of unluckiness right here.
And that's got to be so hard to respond to after you think you throw really good pitches.
Yeah, and he's really going to that outside part of the plate, which is getting his righties out ahead. Could go right back to it to try to induce a double play ball, but pressure hopefully makes diamonds with a guy 90 feet away.
Jake Coonan shows bunt, pops it up foul. For Max Stammel, this isn't new territory, and his two previous starts for the Hawks pitched for 4 innings and 5 innings. So he has stretched this far. He's just trying to find new ways to get these guys out the second time through the order. 0-1. Another shown bunt pulled back. Slider misses low and inside. 1-1. Coonan tied for third on the team with Nico Brini in RBIs at 13. Trying to bring home his 14th and potentially 15th of the season. 1-1. Skied and sent foul down the first base line. Another souvenir for a lucky fan. Coonan coming off an 0-for-2 performance at YD, and Harwich's 6-4 loss to the Red Sox. But he did draw a walk, also got hit by a pitch. Found new ways to get on base. Here's 1-2. Upstairs on a fastball, 2-2. We've seen Stammel struggle a little bit with that heater in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, sometimes he has missed pretty consistently up, which tells me that he's releasing it a little bit too late. That arm action just lagging behind, that causing it to go up in the strike zone.
2-2 is low, full count. We've seen Stammel go to the changeup in these sticky situations against right-handed hitters. Coonan in the righty's box. 1 out, bases loaded. 2-0 lead for Hyannis in the bottom of the 4th. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 Ks in the inning for Max Stammel. And the left-handed pitcher keeps the lead at 2-0 for Hyannis.
From Boston College, number 34, Kyle Wolf.
And for that strikeout, he went to a high slider.
And I think the reason why that works is because of his funky arm action with that lower 3/4. Usually a high slider from a normal arm angle, kind of a good pitch to hit. You know, it stays up by the belt. When it's coming down from that lower one, it's kind of rising on you. It's tough.
Kyle Wolf swings at the first pitch, sends it into center field. Aiden Robbins will come home. But Matt Conti has to stay at second base. 2-1 lead for Hyannis.
Well, there was just a pitch that Stammel left over to the strike zone, and that ambush tactic that the Mariners hadn't been using really all tonight coming into fruition right there.
And manager Mitch Carricker out of the dugout going up to talk to Max Stammel. No immediate move for the baseball. We've seen him do this a couple times where he'll just talk to his starters, pick their brain a little bit, allow him to talk him into staying on the mound.
I mean, you got Garrity in the hole. Ryan Link, the righty at the plate, but Garrity, a left-handed hitter. I don't know what the leash is if they want to find that matchup, but he's going to let his guy go, and why not?
Stammel just threw his 60th pitch of the start. The last time that he started against Bourne, he threw 62 pitches total over 5 innings. And with runners on first and second, he's going to face Peter Link. Link 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. First pitch taken for strike 1. Stammel goes right back to that slider, this time at the knees. And Stammel disengaged, just go over, check on Matt Conti, who's at second.
Pitch clock was down at 3, so he just wasn't ready to throw that one.
Link playing in his first ball game for the Harwich Mariners. Rising junior at Sacred Heart University. Played for the Danbury Westerners of the NECBL, and now Mitch Carricker is going to come out to have a conversation with third base umpire.
I believe they might have called a pitch clock violation.
Carricker talking to Will Bowers, the third base ump. And it was a pitch clock violation via the online game day. And Mitch Carricker will go back to the dugout. So it's a 1-1 count for Peter Link. Link with the Westerners in the NECBL played 32 games as he swings through a changeup. Had a .276 batting average. Walked 18 times, but struck out 40 times. That number kind of plaguing him a little bit. 2 outs in the inning, 2 on, 1-2 pitch. He just catches a piece of it, sends it straight back foul. Stammel thought he had his 6th strikeout of the start. It's a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Hyannis leading Harwich. The 1-2. Flied straight behind us. Another foul ball. Stammel trying to get through 4. Conti at second, Kyle Wolf at first. 2 outs, 1-2. Send to right field, golfed out of the bottom of the zone. Devin Mitchell on the run, leaps and makes the grab. Mitchell overran it a tad bit, but was able to make the play nonetheless. Harwich gets its first run. It's 2-1, Hyannis.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is honored to
Hyannis with a 2-1 lead heading into the top of the 5th inning. Jeff Lugie going to lead things off. Lugie was the only Hyannis bat to not come up to the plate back in the 4th inning. It was an offensive explosion, started by a Jace Doby walk to lead off the inning. But then Camacho and LaChance with a couple singles, Devin Mitchell with a single, and the Harbor Hawks just didn't really look back. The kind of offense that manager Mitch Carricker has been looking for in these middle innings.
And it's been what he's been trying to find with all these different lineup changes throughout the last couple of weeks. Kind of trying anything. Of course, Hyannis has their eyes on making the postseason, but if they hold on and do so, they want to have a consistent lineup that they're comfortable moving forward with. And this is another almost different-looking lineup. Ryan McKay leading off, as he's done a lot this year, but last night batted 5th.
No Jake Schaffner in the lineup, someone that we've seen a lot of. And 5 righties, the first time that Mitch Carricker has penciled in more righties than lefties, maybe since June. Lugie 0 for 2 with 2 Ks in tonight's ball game. And he takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Only the 3rd time this season that Lugie has struck out 2 times in a ball game. He hasn't struck out 3 times in an appearance this season. Going to try to hold that. He sends the 0-1 straight back foul on another fastball. Lugie 1 for 7 in the season-long series against Harwich. Only played in games 2 and 3. Harwich is one of 2 teams in the Cape League that has held him to 1 hit over the season-long series, Wareham being the other. Lugie's 0-2 is just low for ball 1. Lugie 1 for 5 against the Gatemen this season, but he's drawn 4 walks. He has drawn 0 walks against the Harwich Mariners. So they've really kept him at bay this season. 1-2. Lugie grounds one up the middle. A nice pick from Marsh on the run. His throw is low. And Kyle Wolf with a phenomenal play at first to get the first out.
Wow, that was a really impressive job by Wolf because it was that in-between hop. He had to get down on all 4s, essentially, to hold that one in.
An important first out as well to kind of keep momentum going right now for Thomas Shirtleff, who came in, bases loaded, only 1 out, and struck out Ryan McKay and Parker Brocious. It was an unbelievable start to the appearance. Jace Doby takes strike 1 on a breaking ball inside. Doby 0 for 1 with a walk, that coming back in the 4th inning. The 7th walk that he's drawn this season. 3 games in a row now for Doby drawing a walk. The 0-1. Skied foul right behind home plate. The kid with some kind of toy reached it to the sky and the ball cracked off it and broke it. But he went for the catch. Doby extended on a base streak to 7 straight back in the 4th inning. He reaches out and just clips a breaking ball foul. Count stays at 0-2. He's hitless over his last 2 ball games, though. Has not been able to get his bat back to the standard that it was at a couple of ball games ago. He was on a 3-game hit streak right before the month ended. 0-2. Doby reaches and misses this time. 2 outs in the inning.
3rd strikeout for Shirtleff, who's really falling into a groove, and he kind of read the swing on the pitch before because Doby barely got a piece of that slider outside. Clearly fooled. He goes right back to it and gets the strikeout this time.
Mariners pitching has struck out the 5th most batters this season in the Cape League. But they've already got 7 in this ball game. Gabe Camacho checks his swing on a breaking ball that catches the low outside corner for strike 1. Camacho coming off a single back in the 4th inning. Before that, he grounded out to the second baseman, Jake Coonan. 0-1. Upstairs on a fastball. Camacho getting right back on a horse of a hit streak. Had a 6-game hit streak going, stretching from the middle parts of July to the end of the month. But then 0-for-3 performance, or 0-for-4 performance at Wareham ended it, as he takes a 1-1 fastball up and away for ball 2. And it's felt like the difference in this late stretch of really good hitting has been his eye. He's worked into advantageous counts pretty constantly.
And that's something that takes it takes a while to develop.
2-1. Fouls one straight back, a breaking pitch, 2-2.
That's a pitch that Gabe wants back. Lefties love the slider low and inside. It allows them just to turn on it. The bat head goes right into it. Just didn't square it up right there.
Hyannis still with a 2-1 lead. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 2-2. Slider just upstairs, full count.
Went to the back door, but I guess a little bit away.
Shirtliff looking to retire his 5th straight batter. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. 4 of the last 5 that Shirtliff has faced, he has sat down via the strikeout swinging. Still 2-1 Hyannis heading into the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning, Hyannis leads Harwich 2-1 as we welcome Giovanni Collada to the broadcasting booth, saying thank you and farewell to Max Schwartzberg for tonight. New pitcher on the mound for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. It's Liam Kineen making his first appearance of the Cape League summer. 6'4", 210-pound rising sophomore at Princeton. Most recently coming from the North Shore Navigators of the NECBL. Right now kind of one of many coming from the NECBL as that regular season's over.
Yeah, so that wraps up, and now this is the point of the season where a lot of those star players from the NECBL, win or lose in the championship, you could win the NECBL championship and make your way over to the Cape Cod Baseball League if you're good enough and vie for a 2nd championship in just one summer, which is a really impressive thing. I'll give a quick anecdote here that Chris Hakopian, who is now with YD, a Cape League All-Star, one of the better players in this league, was due to come to the Chatham Anglers last summer from the NECBL after another great season for him there with the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. And had he come, who knows if Chatham would have advanced past that first round. It could have a real impact on a team's playoff run.
Well, with the North Shore Navigators, Kineen had a 3.86 ERA. That's across 7 appearances. 6 of them were starts. He dealt for 30 1/3. He walked 16, struck out 27. and is looking to continue some really solid momentum into a first Cape League start, closing the day for Max Stammel, who did very, very well. Allowed run, 4 hits over the course of 4 innings. Ryan Garrity is going to start off the inning for the Harwich Mariners. Garrity in the 9-hole tonight. Garrity also a tall guy, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Rising junior at Northeastern. He takes strike 1, a fastball right down Broadway.
And even though it wouldn't technically be Stammel's best outing this final line, because he went 5 innings and didn't allow a run last time out, I think he looked the best because of the situations he inherited.
Second pitch, also right down the middle on a fastball.
He dealt with them more comfortably. Take when Harwich got that, or Jake Coonan reached base off that E5 and then stole 2 bases in a row, strikes out the next 2 batters. That's not something we've seen Hyannis do very well this season.
Caneen's 0-2. Send to left field. Jace Doby has to charge in at the last second, and it hops in front of him. Leadoff single for Ryan Garrity.
It's now back-to-back innings with a leadoff single for Harwich, and we saw the effect in the 4th when they brought across a run. And here, Doby didn't get a great jump on this ball. Maybe lost it in the lights, cold, maybe had an impact. It is sure freezing out here. But for some reason, just couldn't get to that ball in time and did a good job blocking it, not letting him get by, and potentially allowing Garrity to take 2.
Flips the order for Tanner Marsh. He's 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk his first time up to the plate. Caneen is sent to right field. A line drive trying to go foul, and it will. A little bit of a slide step there from Liam Caneen, changing up his delivery speeds. Seen that a lot from Tsubasa Tommy early in the season. He had a pause and then also a bit of that slide step. Can be really effective when pitchers use it in different situations for different pitches. Marsh coming into this ball game with the second most hits on this Mariners team with 27. He takes an 0-1 breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. That's the first time we've seen the slider from Liam Caneen. He went heavy fastball, located a lot, established that fastball in the zone, and now can get a bit more creative. Garrity's still at first. Check over on him. The throw just late. Marsh working a 4-game on-base streak, but he's gotten on base in all of his last 9 starts. The streak was interrupted by a pinch-hitting performance where he went 0 for. Hit and run down the right side. He gets past Gabe Camacho. Garrity's going to leg it out to third base, and runners are on the corners for Harwich with no outs in the inning.
That's the second hit and run of the night for the Mariners, and this one is surely the better executed of the two. And the fact that the ball gets by and into the outfield for Tanner Marsh, his second time reaching base. And this is exactly what Harwich has done so well this season. And, to be frank, what teams playing Hyannis have done so well against the Harbor Hawks. Play small ball and work the base pass when it's needed.
Now 2 innings in a row where the Mariners have quickly gotten a runner in scoring position with no outs. Aiden Robbins did that back in the 4th. He singled to lead off the inning and then stole second. Check over at first, and Tanner Marsh is well safe. Brings up a dangerous hitter in Nico Brini, who has 13 RBIs over the course of the season, tied for the 3rd most on this Mariners team. His first pitch, low fastball for ball 1. He's played in every game that these two teams have faced off in. Went 0 for 3 the first time back in June 15th, the second game of the season. Then he ran for Shintaro Inoue the second time these two teams faced off exactly a month ago. As a 1-0 fastball misses outside. And in Game 3, he exploded. 2 for 5 with a double. He crossed home plate twice and struck out once. He's trying to carry that momentum into this ball game, but so far, he's 0 for 2, hasn't quite had it.
A lot of that's a credit to Max Stammel. Challenged him when he needed to, induced the ground ball contact, and that went a long way to stranding that leadoff walk.
Brini also coming off a 2-for-4 performance at YD, yesterday's ball game that the Mariners ended up losing 6-4. He was the only Mariner with multiple hits in that game as he fouls off the 2-0 just down the third base side. Not too long ago, he was working a 15-game on-base streak. He's a bit of a monster when it comes to just manufacturing and playing small ball like we've talked about all night long. It's made this Mariners team so dangerous, especially as of late. That's why they're atop or near the top of the East Division. Canines 2-1. Hit hard to center field. Parker Brocious and Jace Doby in the area. Doby catches. Ryan Garrity will tag and tie up this ball game at 2. Sacrifice fly for Nico Brini. And Tanner Marsh stays at first.
Just getting our first look at Liam Canine, we can see that he's seasoned from this summer, that experience in the NECBL, but also the fact that he hasn't faced this level of competition in the NECBL. It's good. It's no Cape Cod. And here, Harwich, having most of its roster from when it last played Hyannis still intact, showed the experience it gained against Stammel and nearly 3 times facing the starter. Liam Canine, unfortunately, tagged for those runs, but make no mistake that the Mariners deserved it.
Check over on Tanner Marsh, and he's safe. Canine, a rising sophomore at Princeton, in his freshman season, had a 5.8 ERA, over 11 appearances, all of them starts. That's another thing to consider. Canine very much a starter. First pitch, in for a strike to Aiden Robbins on a fastball, just taken at the knees. He only had 1 relief appearance with the North Shore Navigators. 7 appearances, 6 of them starts. To find the last time that he really was consistently relieving, you have to go back to his 2024 Summer League season with the Broxton Rocks of the Futures Collegiate League, as another check over at Marsh is late. And a pinch hitter for the Harwich Mariners. D. Kennedy comes in the bottom of the 5th. Runner goes. The pitch is high for a ball. The throwdown, not in time. 4th stolen bag of the ball game for the Mariners. Tanner Marsh in scoring position.
Well, they've been unafraid to attack Dayton LaChance tonight, and this could be the best jump for Tanner Marsh of the 4 stolen bases on the night for Harwich.
D. Kennedy will lock back into his first plate appearance.
Surprised to see them pull Aiden Robbins here at this point of the game.
1-1. Kennedy checks his swing, takes a strike on a slider.
Robbins among the better hitters in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Started off that 4th inning with a single, eventually scored the run after stealing a base. And without one of its best hitters, that could help Hyannis.
1 out in the inning, a 1-2. Slider misses outside, 2-2 count. Kennedy a pretty good option to bring in for Robbins, however, for this Harwich team. Tied for 8th in the Cape League in RBIs with 18. His average a little bit low at 255, but he's a clutch hitter. 2-2. Pulled right at the third baseman. Miles Davis lets it drop out of his glove. His throw to first in time, and that allows Tanner Marsh to take off and take third base.
Sigh of relief over at third for Miles Davis, who has struggled at the hot corner this season and in this game, already committing an error in the 2nd. And here he gathers himself and now creates an advantageous situation for Liam Canine to keep the go-ahead run away from the plate.
The third baseman from Wright State, number 10,
Patrick Fultz is going to come up for his 3rd time in this ball game. Fultz 0 for 2 with a strikeout, that coming most recently in the 4th inning. Fultz coming off a 1 for 4 performance at Catuit back on July 30th, and Harwich's 8-3 loss. He checks his swing on a high fastball, and he went around for strike 1.
Oh, this.
Fultz also, like Liam Canine, playing in his 2nd league of the 2025 summer was with the Champion City Kings of the Prospect League. Only played 8 games with the Kings, however. Had a batting average at .440. Caneen's 0-1. Dips low. Slider can't locate. 1-1.
We've heard from Hyannis Harbor Hawk players this season that it's challenge enough to adjust to playing some of the best guys in the nation from all sorts of conferences, different pitching philosophies every single day, but it's a completely different animal to come from a different league here to Cape Cod in the middle of a summer.
1-1 fastball upstairs for ball 2.
Got the added pressure if you're a hitter coming from a place like the NECBL of learning the tendencies of the Cape League, installing almost a new game plan for that specific team, going from one to the other. And a lot of these guys adjust very well in a short amount of time.
2-1. Fouled straight back. Count runs even. Foltz, a rising senior at Wright State. 2025, had a .332 batting average over 59 games. Knocked 11 doubles, had 45 RBIs. In each of his 3 collegiate seasons, he's had double-digit doubles. And in both of his past 2 has had at least 40 RBIs. Deuce's wild pitch. Slider taken to first base. Gabe Camacho fields and touches the first base bag for the 3rd out. Liam Caneen keeps it fairly clean in his first inning of work, although allowing Ryan Garrity to come home. Before we let you go, our Ava Fernandez was able to catch up with Brendan Oliveira and Chris Diaz, 2 pitchers that dealt pretty well in last night's win.
Ava Fernandez alongside Brandon Oliveira and Chris Diaz, 2 of our relief pitchers that came in last night. And you guys are roommates here. You were both roommates at UMiami. What kind of has been the experience so far on the Cape, living together and adjusting to everything together?
The experience here has been great so far. Feels nice to be rooming with, one of my good friends again. It's been really fun here. Comfortable with Chris. Everything's been good.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an unbelievable experience, especially with someone that I'm very familiar with. I mean, back home we only live 5 minutes away from each other, so it's pretty cool having my buddy with me here, going alongside.
And what was the reaction when you guys both got the call to come down here? Were you so excited that you both got to come?
Yeah, I was super excited. Chris came up here first, and then they had another spot, so he got me up here, and then I was like, yeah, of course, let's do it. Sounds amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's been pretty cool, like I said before. I'm just looking forward to keep enjoying it the rest of the summer with them.
What has been you guys' favorite part about being down here? Anything fun, specific that you've done?
Best thing of the summer, other than baseball, I'd say probably golfing. We live on a golf course, and we've gone a couple times. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
You guys good at golf? What are the numbers looking like?
We've been getting better. I mean, I've only been golfing for a year, so it's been a little bit of a struggle, but we've been getting there.
It's all right. You live on a golf course, you'll get used to it. It's all right. Well, Chris and Brandon have been great pitchers so far for us so far this summer, and we can't wait to see what they do for the rest of the summer. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ava.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ava. Top of the 6th inning. Hyannis and Harwich locked in a 2-2 tie as Dayton LaChance is going to lead off the inning. LaChance, Bates, and Davis, 6, 7, 8 due up in the top of the 6th inning. LaChance 1 for 2 on the ball game, but reached first base twice. His first time up, he reached on a dropped 3rd strike and was able to leg out a throw for Matt Conti. Still facing Thomas Shirtliff. First pitch slider catches the zone for strike 1. LaChance, as we talked about, struggled hitting as a catcher, 2 for 15 over the first 10 games. But in this ball game, 1 for 2 to start, looks like he's maybe reversing a bit of that trend. 0-1. Chopped foul down the 3rd base line.
Got into this a bit last night, but for LaChance, it could be that with the more reps DHing, as he transitions to being a defensive catcher and a hitter while being behind the plate, it could be that those reps are translating across days. Now, it could just be that he likes to hit against the Bourne Braves, as was brought up tonight. But it's got to have an effect somehow.
LaChance down 0-2. He pulls one hard down the 3rd base line, but well foul.
And I think Mitch Carricker knows that in his ideal lineup, whether it be for a postseason or a do-or-die game, that Brody Briggs is his best defensive catcher, at least from what we've seen this season, and Dayton LaChance posts his best as a DH. But having him be better behind the plate and at the dish while he's playing catcher only gives him more options, and that's always a good thing.
Another 0-2 pitch. This time, LaChance goes down swinging. 5 Ks for Thomas Shurtleff in this appearance. He's retired all of his last 6, 5 of them via the strikeout. He's been unbelievable.
He came into a really tough situation after Jack Volo struggled, only recorded 1 out, and allowed those 2 runs to Hyannis. And Shurtleff has single-handedly kept the Mariners in this game.
Charlie Bates swings and misses on a fastball. Shurtleff struck out 30-plus batters in his sophomore and junior seasons at UPenn. His freshman season, he didn't get as much playing time, struck out only 16. 0-1 to Bates. Fouled off, another fastball that he couldn't catch up to. Maybe more impressive is that over the past 2 seasons as well, Shurtleff walked 15 or fewer batters. So not only did he strike out a lot, but he just found the zone a lot in general. 0-2. Bates pulls one down the first base line. Second baseman Coonan gobbles it up and records the second out of the inning. Shurtleff with a phenomenal start or phenomenal appearance in this ball game, not only in the strikeout numbers, but in working quickly.
Working quickly, and the fact that he keeps it that Harwich has only walked 2 batters. Not like there were many free passes in that win on the Hyannis side, on the pitching side, the 6-3 Harwich win a couple of days ago at McKeon Park. But Harwich dished out its fair share.
Miles Davis takes a slider outside for ball 1.
And it remains the case that the way that Harwich was able to combat that was with striking out Hyannis batters, especially in key situations. They've now matched their strikeout total from that last game, and only in the 6th inning.
Davis takes strike 1. That time a changeup catches the inside corner. Davis 0 for 1 in the ball game. Had a sac fly back in the 4th. Brought home Gabe Camacho. 1-1. Turns on it, but sends it straight into the ground. Jake Coonan has been busy at second. Records the second and third outs of the top of the 6th. Still 2-2 heading into the bottom of the inning. Bottom of the 6th inning here at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. A 2-2 tie between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners. These two teams have had a lot of roster turnover, but they've happened at different parts of the season. If you look back at the first game that these two teams played, of the 9 Mariners that started against Hyannis, only 2 of them remain. But if you look at the second ball game that they played exactly a month ago, of the 9 Mariners that started that one, 6 of them remain.
And it feels like as these the season comes to a close, that continues to be the case. However, for Hyannis, given the amount of roster turnover it's had, it's not happening at the same time as it is for the rest of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Over 20 new players for Hyannis on both the pitching and hitting sides since July 7th. And so they've had more time to mesh with the new group of players that's really going to be here for the rest of the summer, whereas the rest of these teams are just installing that morale now.
Caneen delivers a fastball upstairs to Matt Conti, his second inning of work. Conti, rising sophomore at Wake Forest, has a lot of raw power. Hasn't had the opportunity to show it off in his young collegiate career, as a 1-0 fastball misses outside. But at Wake Forest his freshman season, he got a hit in 15 of 24 games played. This season, he's making his 24th appearance for the Mariners. 2-0, checks his swing, doesn't go around, and it's inside. 3 straight balls from Caneen. Liam Caneen did a really good job in the 5th inning, establishing the zone with his fastball. To start off this inning, he's thrown the fastball 3 times and has missed every single one of them. 3-0. Fastball low, 4-pitch walk.
I don't think it's all tabbed on this, but I wonder what effect the cold is having on it. And it doesn't help. I mean, it does help the pitcher that Thomas Shirtliff has faced the minimum in each of his last 2 innings. You don't have to sit for as long. And you feel like, though, that the warmth is a metaphor for momentum. 3 straight, batters are with productive plate appearances, and then you get the 2 outs. I wonder what effect sitting that long had on Caneen.
Jake Coonan puts one straight down into the dirt. Caneen is a rising sophomore at Princeton. So if anyone's probably suited to face the cold out of this Mitch Carricker bullpen, this is probably the guy you want up there, having dealt in the cold for a while. He's from Lexington, Massachusetts, so a pretty local guy. 0-1. Coonan shows bunt, fouls it for a second straight time.
That should render him doubly more qualified. You go from Massachusetts to New Jersey, staying on the eastern seaboard. It's cold. It feels like we're in the middle of winter here tonight.
I'm glad it's not just me. I've been called a California boy multiple times.
I'm a New Yorker, and it feels like it's going to snow.
Makes me feel much better. 0-2 count for Jake Coonan with Matt Conti over at first base. Nobody out, bottom of the 6th, 2-2 tie. Check over on the base runner, Conti. It's well late. Last time these 2 teams faced off here at White House Field, it ended in a tie. And it was kind of baseball like this. These 2 teams just going back and forth, trading blows, but one couldn't pull ahead of the other. 0-2. Fouled straight back on a breaking ball. In fact, that game ended in a 2-2 tie. So very similar spot for both these teams right now.
And a game that Hyannis just willed its way. 18 strikeouts, still a season high. I believe the highest number in a Cape League game this season. A season that's featured 17 runs, 17 hits, and 18 strikeouts from Hyannis. Of course, not those 2 numbers, not Hyannis numbers. Those are just league numbers. But that last one, the Harbor Hawks used to get a win exactly a month ago today. A win that, with the playoff race as it is in the West Division, each one of those 15 for Hyannis is that much more important.
0-2. Hit right back up the middle. Caneen fields his position, throws it well low to Camacho. But Camacho picks it out of the dirt and records the first out. Conti was able to scurry over to second.
Phew, if you're Liam Caneen. Fumbled with the ball as it trickled by the mound, and once he collected himself, he threw it without much luster towards Gabe Camacho. It bounced in, and Camacho's had to dig a few out from across the diamond, especially at short and at third, but I don't think he's ever expected to have one coming right from the pitcher.
Camacho went full split.
Oh, yeah.
To get that, just to make it a little bit of a shorter hop.
Do it all.
First pitch swinging, Kyle Wolf fouls it off himself. Wolf 1 for 2 in the ball game. An RBI single back in the fourth brought home the first run of the ball game for the Mariners. Wolf playing in his 25th ball game for Harwich, but has not played against these Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The 0-1. Curve misses low.
Wolf, a guy with tremendous eye, led BC in home runs this year. Oddly enough, among the national leaders, leader in the Power 4 and hit by pitches, with a super high leg kick that emulates Anthony Rizzo.
Takes a 1-1 fastball for strike 2. 27 hit by pitches in 2025 with BC. 22 in 2024. He just wears them.
In fact, there were 2 instances this year at BC where he was hit by a pitch and was not awarded first base for how much he doesn't lean into him, but for that leg kick.
1-2. Fouls it straight back behind home plate. He's been hit by 7 pitches this season. 24 appearances, 7 hit by pitches. That's still a pretty high clip.
About the same average, or on track for the same if he played a full season like he did with Boston College. Makes him that much more impressive when he's got the power to leave the yard as well.
1-2. Skips in, a breaking ball. Dives in front of home plate. Nice block from Dayton LaChance to keep Conti over at second. Wolf, a rising senior at Boston College. Trying to find a little bit more momentum as a starter for the Harwich Mariners. 2 of his last 3 appearances have been pitch hitting or running. His starts have been pretty hard to come by as of late. The Mariners trying to work in a couple of those new faces and new names that they've been getting from the NECBL. Canine disengages, tosses over to second base.
The other added piece of what we were talking about earlier, where Hyannis has had the time to mesh with this roster and its full depth, is that when Harwich was at its peak with its best roster this season, which it probably isn't right now, given the caliber of players that were once here, it's also guys like Kyle Wolf who have been here since day one, just didn't get into the fold. They now are reintegrated into the lineup.
2-2. Hit back up the middle, and it gets past Ryan McKay and Charlie Bates. The runner gets sent around third. Conti comes home standing up, and Kyle Wolf has 2 RBI singles on the ball game.
Both of them super important to similar parts of the baseball field. This one, a bouncer over Canine, and just pierces into center field as both Bates and McKay were converging on it. It's like a somewhat awkward hop off the infield grass and skipped by them both. It's not like they gave up, but just couldn't get to it. Maybe stumbled a bit off the jump, and just like that, 3-2 Harwich.
First time the Mariners have led in this ball game. They've scored 1 in each of the middle innings. Peter Link takes a fastball inside for ball 1. It's been a steady attack. This is just kind of what Harwich has done as of late to really skyrocket in the East. Play in close games, depend on its pitching. As a check over at first is late to Kyle Wolf. And play small ball. A lot of singles in this ball game. No extra base hits yet for the Mariners, and, in fact, none for the Harbor Hawks either. 1-0, dives at the home plate, a curveball, and Blink swings right through it.
That was something. That looked like it was going low and outside the zone, 55 of the 60 feet there, and Link just swung the bat maybe off an impulse.
Link, one of the few coming from the NECBL, Danbury Westerners. Played in 32 games, had a .276 batting average. 2025, played with Sacred Heart University, had a .282 average, so that average dropping a little bit in the summer league, but still a pretty good season in the NECBL. Takes a curveball for strike 2 on the inside of the zone.
The other two-pronged effect of guys coming from the NECBL is that there's a lot of travel involved. There's a team in Vermont, a team in Martha's Vineyard, a team in Danbury, Connecticut, teams in Maine. It's a lot of travel that could either fatigue or energize these players.
1-2. Another 12-6 curve. Retires Peter Link swinging.
I think despite the damage, Mitch Carricker likes what he's seeing from Liam Kineen. Fastball had the command in the 5th, hasn't had it in this 6th, and that's part of why Harwich is taking the lead. But the ability to tunnel it with a breaking ball like that just hangs and drops straight for Peter Link. Fanned him on a couple of pitches, and he looked well confused.
First strikeout of the ball game for Liam Kineen. Another check over at first base, and Wolf is safe. Kineen facing Ryan Garrity. First batter that he faced off against in this appearance. Garrity hit a single and then came all the way around home plate on a sacrifice fly from Nico Brini. First pitch fastball upstairs and away to Garrity.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a steal here from Kyle Wolf at first. Not a guy that stole a whole lot at Boston College nor here on the Cape, but given the way they've beaten Dayton LaChance tonight, who knows?
1-0 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Garrity making his second stint with the team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. In 2024, played a couple games with the YD Red Sox. Only made 4 plate appearances, though. 1 hit. Didn't see a lot of time in 2024. He swings through another 1-1 breaking ball. But before coming to the YD Red Sox, he played for the North Shore Navigators, the same team Liam Kineen is coming to the Cape Cod League from. And there he got a lot of good reps, 138 plate appearances, at a .274 batting average. 1-2 with 2 outs. Lone away, and it skips away from Dayton LaChance. That allows Kyle Wolf to take second base.
Wolf was thinking about it. And the longest lead of the plate appearance for Ryan Garrity, even going back to that strikeout for Peter Link. And since Kineen threw him away, he took the opportunity, got a great jump. LaChance actually puts a pretty good throw after blocking it. Just leads Ryan McKay a bit too far off the bag. He couldn't swing the tag around his body.
Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Deuce's wild pitch. Lifted to left field. Jace Doby ranges over to his right and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Harwich Mariners take the lead. It's 3-2 Harwich over the Harbor Hawks.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Top of the 7th inning. 3-2 ball game. Harwich leading the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as the Mariners go to a new pitcher, Tyler Muscar, coming into this ball game. It's his second appearance of the Cape League summer. Only has 1 inning under his belt in the CCBL. 1 strikeout, no runs, only 1 hit. Coming from James Madison University, rising junior, standing at 6'5", 220 pounds, playing in his first summer league action. Did not come over from the NECBL or a league alike, like many right now in the Cape Cod Baseball League. He's ending a really strong appearance for Thomas Shurtleff.
I think among the better that Hyannis has faced this season, 2 2/3, no hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts in 7 batters. He retires every batter he sees in relief of Jack Volo, who allowed those 2 runs to Hyannis. They're only 2 of the night. And he single-handedly kept to the Harwich Mariners in this game and allowed them to take the lead.
Harwich manager Steve Englert going with a lot of guys that haven't seen a lot of action in this Cape League season. Dilhoff making his first appearance. Volo very fresh. Same with Shurtleff and Muscar. But yet they've locked it down.
Not only that, he's playing the long game. Harwich is into a playoff spot, just a matter of where they're seated. And, of course, there could be a very big game on Saturday and Sunday, of course, tomorrow and Sunday, to determine who gets that coveted number 1 seed. But wherever Harwich lands in the playoff totem pole, these guys are going to be very important because it's the guys that are going to come into bigger spots than this one.
Devin Mitchell going to lead off the inning for Hyannis, batting tonight in the 9-hole. Take the first pitch fastball outside. And when we were speaking to the Harwich broadcasters before the game, they said that this Harwich team is very into it right now. They want to make playoffs. They want to make a deep postseason run. And so they are fighting for that top seed. 1-0. Mitchell takes another fastball outside.
And for those of you listening to that saying, well, doesn't every team want to make it? Not necessarily. A lot of teams at this point, especially if they're out of the fold, or it looks like they're out of the fold, they're close to that bottom spot, check out because it's a long season, yeah.
2-0. Fastball high in the zone, swung on and missed.
It certainly gets grueling going from a 50 to 60 game college baseball season right into Cape Cod, then going back to school and to fall ball. So it says a lot about the character of the guys on the Harwich Mariners and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They're still in it, battling every pitch all the way down to the very end.
2-1. Popped up well high on the infield. Playable for someone. Patrick Fultz, the third baseman, misses it, just overran. And so Devin Mitchell with new life.
Bit of a miscommunication as well between him and the catcher, Matt Conti. Fultz started running, Conti called him off, then Fultz recalled him off and overran it. That one was way high, all above the lights as well, so it got lost in him coming down, and Fultz just couldn't put the glove on it.
2-2 count for Devin Mitchell. He was all the way at second base by the time that ball hit the ground. Mitchell, another guy that's been really fighting for appearances. They've been hard to come by. It's 2-2. Outside, another fastball. Only heaters right now for Muscar. For Mitchell, his last 2 appearances have been either a pinch hitting appearance or a pinch running appearance. The last time he made a start was against Bourne on July 25th. Went 0 for 2 in that ball game. Full count, taken strike 3. Fastball just finds the bottom of the zone.
That's the 10th strikeout of the game. Mitchell unhappy with it. Started walking at first like he had the walk, and that's just a filthy pitch from Muscar. A hanger down to the low of the zone, clips the knees of Devin Mitchell, and that is a huge first out for the lefty reliever.
Flips the order for Ryan McKay, making his 4th plate appearance. McKay scoots out of the way the first pitch. The fastball nearly got him on his lead shoulder. McKay with 2 hits in the ball game, struck out most recently in the 4th. It's his second multi-hit performance in his last 4 games. He's got to scoot out of the way of another pitch. Fastball inside, 2-0. Looks like he got a little bit of dirt in his eyes. Got to step out of the box and wipe a couple times with his shirt, with his jersey. McKay with hits in 4 of his last 5, now 5 of his last 6. Pulls one down the right side, and it gets past a diving Jake Coonan at second base. Ryan McKay gets another single in this ball game. It's his 5th 3-hit performance of the Cape League season.
There's the Ryan McKay we're used to. Started off red hot this season, averaged a shade under 400 to lead the Cape League for a considerable stretch of time, and a large part of the reason why is because of plays like that. Hard hit balls, you get fielders in a difficult position. There, Coonan was cheating towards his second base bag, made the run, timed it beautifully, just could not get the glove down as he slid towards first.
Brings up Parker Brocious, who struggled a bit in this ball game. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Takes a first pitch fastball upstairs for ball 1. Brocious also, though, still very new to this Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball team. Only his 8th game played of the season. It is his second stint, but since there's so much turnover, it's hard to really say that it's like coming home. 1-0, just cued fouled on the first base line.
And oddly enough, he's matched his total games played from Hyannis last year, just 8 before injuring that shoulder after running into the outfield wall. But it is really valuable for Mitch Carricker to have a guy he likes from his first year, a really popular guy in the dugout, and somebody with Cape League experience going into this push for the playoffs, even if it's only a little bit.
1-1. Breaking ball taken low for ball 2. He's a rising senior at Georgia Tech. Didn't have his best baseball in 2025. A .234 average with Georgia Tech. Not following a sophomore or junior season where he had hit .298 at the plate. Check over at the runner, and McKay is safe. But the most notable part about his stint with the Harbor Hawks in 2024 is that he got on base in 7 of the 8 games that he played. He was an on-base machine. McKay goes on the 2-1, pitches high for a ball. McKay just gets to second in time. Matt Conti threw a strike from behind the dish, but McKay's speed just outdoes him.
Just outdoes him. That was almost beautifully timed. It's just poetry in motion from slide to tag as the ball arrived just as McKay's left foot hit the bag. You can see where the dirt right in front of the second base bag facing the first base side is scuffed up from how hard McKay slid into it.
His 7th stolen bag of the season, and he's trying for an 8th. Swing and a miss from Brocious. The throwdown well high. And Ryan McKay with back-to-back stolen bags.
Well, this is exactly what Parker Brocious did in the first inning. Walks after McKay singles and is caught in a rundown. A couple stolen bases to set things up for Jeff Luigi, and now Brocious on the other end.
He's now the 3rd player in this ball game to do that. Brocious being 1, and then Harwich's Jake Coonan the other. Brocious sends one deep into center field. Nico Brini makes the catch. Ryan McKay will tag with ease to tie this ball game up at 3 apiece.
There's the effect of that double steal from Ryan McKay. Mitch Carricker knows what he's fighting for, knows maybe he's not scoreboard watching, but he knows how important the other scores are, and all that can be eliminated with a Hyannis win tonight. Of course, it needs some help at the moment, but make no mistake that he's trying to win all 3 of these games and get himself as high as he can in the playoff push, and that's a big reason why. Risks like that.
Jeff Luigi takes a strike on a breaking pitch. In case you at home are wondering, if Hyannis wins, it needs Falmouth to lose to get into the postseason. Falmouth currently trailing 8-0 on the road in Bourne. Luigi chops the second pitch he sees right at the second baseman, Coonan, and that will end the inning. Ryan McKay plays some small ball, steals 2 bags, and Parker Brocious with a sac fly brings him home, make it 3-3 heading into the bottom of the 7th.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Manager Mitch Carricker making another change on the mound, going with the right-hander Jared Jenkins, making his 4th appearance of the Cape League summer with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He has struggled over 2 2/3. He's allowed 12 earned runs. He's only struck out 3. He's walked 4. And he's trying everything he can, or going to try everything he can, to keep this ball game knotted up at 3-3 and replace Liam Kineen, who had a pretty strong first appearance with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
He did, despite some damage. Had incredible fastball command in the 5th, despite allowing a run in that inning off 2 singles and a sac fly. Kyle Wolf tagged him for another RBI single, his 2nd consecutive. So Max Stamwell was on the other end of that as well. And Kineen, in his debut out of Princeton, coming over from the NECBL, showed a bit of rust, shaking it off after not playing for a few days, but he did pose himself as a potential long relief option for Mitch Carricker, stretching 2 innings.
Something that Mitch Carricker is in desperate need of right now after losing a couple really high-leverage relievers over the past couple days.
The loss of Zach Edwards is really going to sting, not just because of who you have to replace, but the fact that there's such a big void to fill with the production he brought here. An ERA well under 2, a whip that's in the top ranks of the Cape Cod Baseball League among relievers, and a guy with 98, 99 mile per hour gas that can strike out batters at a very high clip.
Top of the order due up for Harwich. Tanner Marsh, Nico Brini, and D. Kennedy. Kennedy will only be making his 2nd plate appearance as he's replaced Aiden Robbins in this ball game. Robbins came out pretty early. Was on a good tear as well. 1 for 2 in the ball game with a stolen base and a run. Jenkins sets and delivers. Fastball upstairs, his first to Tanner Marsh. Marsh 1 for 2 today as well, like Aiden Robbins. He drew a walk back in the 1st, flew out in the 3rd, and singled most recently in the 5th. 1-0 sent high into left field. Jace Doby seems to have a good beat on it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That's a big and quick first out for Jared Jenkins.
That is something he has not gotten a lot in his his trio of appearances here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. A guy that's got I believe the highest ERA on the team at this point in the season, and he has pitched better than that. Or did pitch better than that. Dallas Baptist didn't make the adjustment as quickly as he would have liked on the Cape, but he has shown flashes of the brilliance he had with the Patriots this past spring.
Jenkins allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 17 appearances this last season at Dallas Baptist, as he delivers a fastball just outside to Nico Brini. He pitched in the Baton Rouge Regional, helped DBU to a 5-1 win over Rhode Island on May 30th, after throwing 2 2/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. 1-0 fastball up and away, 2 balls and no strikes. But something about this competition, the Cape Cod Baseball League, just makes it a little tough for guys to throw their best stuff.
Playing good run at Dallas Baptist. This is a great baseball school that gets to the NCAA tournament quite a bit. So the Cape is a different beast.
2-0 pitch. 3 straight fastballs away for Jared Jenkins, and this is the trend that he seems to be falling back into. The fastball just starts to have a hard time locating, and then everything kind of unravels. The 3-0. That time he locates with a fastball right at the knees. 3-1 count. Brini 0 for 2 performance going. Had a sacrifice fly back in the 5th. Brought home Ryan Garrity, which made this a 3-2 ball game at the time. 3-1. Fastball high, 5-pitch walk.
You can see what being a day one Harwich Mariners done for Nico Brini tonight. Hasn't shown it on every at-bat, but did so with the plate appearance in the 5th on the sac fly to bring home the tying run. And it's incredible to see across a full, now 38-game season, this is game 38 tonight, that he just looks comfortable out there, getting into routine, much like these guys do in the middle of their college baseball seasons at their respective schools.
That walk, the 3rd dished out by Hyannis pitching. Hyannis pitching has cleaned it up a little bit in that category, in the free pass area. Over the past 4 ball games, Hyannis has walked 4 or fewer. First pitch, taken for a strike. And another new pitcher. New batter up to the plate for Harwich. It's Michael Elko taking the place of D. Kennedy. Runner goes. Pitch out for a ball, and the throwdown off the plate. Charlie Bates looks like he got clipped. on his glove hand, which is his left. He's shaken up a little bit. Mitch Carricker is going to come out of the dugout.
Walking gingerly and flipping that hand back and forth. It's his left, which he important at the plate. He's a lefty batter. It looked like it stung him right there. He's also a lefty thrower, so that's on the gloveless hand. Weird hop off the infield dirt, or rather off the bag, as Bates tried to go get that ball.
Bates still getting checked out by the training staff and Mitch Carricker. Bates has kind of been a utility player for Mitch Carricker the entire season. He's played some over at short. He's made a couple appearances at third, and a bunch in the outfield as well. He's kind of a plug-and-play guy.
Those sorts of players are so important during this stretch of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. It is also very helpful to Mitch Carricker that he's one of the guys that has been here since day one. And will go through the ebbs and flows of a season, certainly for him with that 1-for-20 stretch at the plate. And now he's emerged a better player as he goes back to Stanford, a rising sophomore. He'll be a key piece for this playoff push.
So Bates will stay in the ball game. The training staff and Mitch Carricker will retreat to the dugout. He goes back to his post at shortstop. And Jenkins will lock back into a 1-1 count with one out in the bottom of the seventh. A 3-3 ball game with Nico Brini over at second base. The pitch. Curveball that just misses up and away. Jenkins did a really good job getting ahead of Tanner Marsh, the first batter he saw, leading to a pretty easy fly out in left field for Jace Doby. But he was behind the whole way to Brini, and now is behind 3-1 after a fastball misses inside to Michael Elko. Elko, another guy coming over from the NECBL, played for the Valley Blue Sox. This is his first game with the Harwich Mariners. The 3-1. Breaking ball locates. The count runs full.
Jenkins' breaking ball looks much different than it has in his prior appearances in that he feels comfortable using it. He's using it more often, and it's locating at a higher clip.
Payoff pitch. Foul tipped back into the glove of LaChance. And there are two outs in the inning with a runner in scoring position.
As it gets late here at White House Field, these outs get bigger and bigger with Hyannis' situation still in flux. Of course, that Falmouth score favors them right now, but things can change like that over the next. Knowing Jared Jenkins has struggled this season, it was a risk for Mitch Carricker to bring him in. We'll just say it flat out because of the way he's played this season, but no better time for him to turn it around. He's on the fast track to doing that here.
First pitch breaking ball misses well up and away to Patrick Fultz. Fultz also struggling in this ball game, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The balls that he has made contact with have pretty much all been on the ground. 1-0. This one also on the ground. Ryan McKay plays it off an odd hop and records the third out of the inning. Nico Brini works a walk, steals second. But Michael Elko and Patrick Fultz can't bring him around. 3-3 headed into the top of the eighth.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of.
This one comes down to the wire yet again. We'll get to see the effect right away.
Jace Doby is going to lead off the top of the eighth inning. Doby batting cleanup. He's got Gabe Camacho and Dayton LaChance due up behind him. Doby 0 for 2 with a walk in this ball game. That walk served or proved to be pretty important as he came around and scored off of it. Extended an on-base streak to 7 straight. Muscar gets a big broken bat. It's right at Coonan. And there's one out in the inning off of one pitch. But, man, that bat turned straight into firewood.
There was a shard of the bat that went fluttering in the air by the third base line, eventually ended up by the infield grass just by the righty batter's box. And as Mitch Carricker jogs from the third base coach's box to hand it to one of the bat kids, that's a good piece of firewood, too. The whole bat will be going there, but That's a good start.
And everyone around home plate, including home plate umpire Jim Fonseca and Mitch Carricker before he trots back to his post at third base, all looking for leftover shards of bat.
Bat kid's got to be careful. That's a pretty sharp, maybe splinter-laden piece of the bat. Got to be really careful with that one.
One out in the inning. Gabe Camacho comes up for a fourth time. He's 1 for 2 on the ball game with a strikeout and a single. Takes a first pitch fastball right down Broadway. Camacho coming off of one of his best and by far most clutch performances of the summer. Pinch hit in yesterday's ball game. Went 2 for 2 and scored the winning run off a wild pitch. Takes a 0-1 fastball low 1-1.
Another correlation between last night's win and what many would call the Harbor Hawks of old, that won games in scrappy ways, only saw 2 pitches in those 2 at-bats. So he was surely in attack mode from start to finish, and you see what the result was.
He nails one to right center field. Gertie to the wall, and he makes the catch at it. He nailed that. Not sure how that stayed in the ballpark.
Off the bat, we got to check the velo on that. He's had multiple balls leave the bat 100 miles an hour plus. That one, I mean, you could say he got under it. You could say he didn't swing hard enough, but I don't know how he would have done that. I thought that was gone straight from the onset. Crack of the bat. He did try to lead to the deepest part of the ballpark in the right center field alley. I think if it was a couple hundred feet to the right, it's out of here for a 4-3 Harbor Hawk lead.
Swing and a miss from Dayton LaChance on a breaking ball. The sound that made was the sound of a no-doubter. All of our jaws dropped when that stayed in.
Gabe Camacho walked towards first base like he had it. That'd be an elusive first home run of the summer for the San Diego Triton.
1-1 count as LaChance takes a fastball outside. Camacho has so much power. He showed it off in batting practice, showed it off at UCSD this past collegiate season. Hit 7 home runs, 3 triples, and 12 doubles. LaChance checks his swing on a breaking ball, does go around. 1-2 count. Camacho with only 1 double and 1 triple in his 2025 Cape League season. Still looking for that first home run. Thought he had it there. Was ready for a little pimp job, but couldn't quite get it to leave the yard. 2 outs, 1-2. LaChance with a wild swing and miss, but a dropped third strike. This time, he can't beat out the throw. 3 up, 3 down for Tyler Muscar. 3-3 ball game heading into the bottom of the 8th.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Bottom of the 8th inning, a 3-3 ball game between the Harwich Mariners and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and a new wing on the mound for Mitch Carricker. Andrew Wirtz making his first appearance of the Cape League summer. He's a 6'3", 230-pound rising senior coming from the Valley Blue Sox of the NECBL. Had an ERA below a half of a run. Dealt for 22 innings, allowed 1 earned run. He had 5 others that were unearned. He only walked 4. He struck out 33, an unbelievable season. Over 17 appearances for the Blue Sox. and he takes over for Jared Jenkins, who had a pretty clean inning of work.
He sure did, and that is a relief for him. He struggled this season, but he comes in the 7th, faces one above the minimum with a strikeout. He strands a walk from Nico Brini and a stolen base to move him into scoring position by inducing fly ball contact and ground ball contact. Walks 1, Ks 1, and that could be a resurgent appearance for Jared Jenkins.
Wirtz, a rising senior at Salve Regina, had a 1.33 ERA, a 4-1 record over 24 appearances. Even made a start in his 2025 collegiate season, but only pitched for 27 innings, so really isn't a long-haul guy.
And he's taken his talents up north to play for Northeastern for a grad year, joining the Huskies that were CAA champs, went deeper than the NCAA tournament that they have in a couple of years. And with the gas of Andrew Wirtz, we could see a potential setup man for Mitch Carricker as he's going to be used here in this very 8th inning.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for the
Going up against Matt Conti, Jake Coonan, and Kyle Wolf in this 8th inning. Conti 1 for 2 on the ball game. Lined out his first time up, then singled and drew a walk. And already a stoppage of play. Jim Fonseca telling Wirtz that he's got to make eye contact with the batter. It'll be a pitch clock violation. Conti led off the 6th inning. That was when he drew the walk. Got the Mariners off to a really good start. He swings through a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and goes down 0-1.
This is the meat of the order for Harwich. It's done very well, 5, 6, 7, a couple of trips to the base pass each.
0-1. Locates with another fastball, also coming in around 95, 96. Andrew Wirtz played 2 seasons in the NECBL with the Valley Blue Reds, or the Valley Blue Sox. 0-2. Fastball low for ball 1. So he's got a lot of really good competitive baseball under his belt. The NECBL, kind of right behind the Cape Cod Baseball League, is one of the best of the summer leagues. Wirtz trying to close the door on Conti. 1-2. Breaking ball outside, 2-2 count.
If you're going summer league to summer league, there's no better precursor to the Cape than the NECBL. But as we've mentioned tonight, the extensive travel, the distances between the teams can either tire or energize the players that move on to Cape Cod.
2-2. Another breaking ball low and away. 3-2 count. After 2 picture-perfect fastballs from Andrew Wirtz, he loads the count with a fastball up and away, and then 2 breaking balls that can't find the zone. Payoff pitch. Conti checks his swing on a high fastball. He did not go around. And gets a leadoff walk for a 2nd straight time.
And I think this one might be better than the last one for Matt Conti. Pitch high up at the letters that's really tempting to swing at for a right-handed batter. So if you get around to that fastball in time, even put bat to ball with enough of a turn, it could leave the park if you're a strong enough hitter. And Conti certainly is, with a single already in this game hit hard. Instead, he lays off it and works the walk to spark the rally.
Bunt shown and put down the first base line by Jake Coonan, but it goes foul. Coonan trying to play a little bit more small ball. That's all that the Mariners have done in this ball game. 5 stolen bases for the Harwich Mariners tonight. 2 of them belong to Jake Coonan, who's up at the dish. But then Aiden Robbins, Nico Brini, and Tanner Marsh each have one as well. Another shown bunt, a jab, and a miss. 0-2 count. Now the bunt likely going to be taken away from Jake Coonan.
Both fastballs in this count for Andrew Wirtz have clocked 95 miles per hour, sitting 92, 94 on that first walk to Matt Conti this inning. So he's got the heat to potentially fill the gap left by Zach Edwards.
0-2. Fastball just misses the outside corner. And the last batter that Wirtz faced to lead off the inning kind of started like this. 2 really good pitches taken for strikes. And then he filled up the ball column led to a walk. 1-2. Check swing on a breaking pitch, and Coonan did not go around. Count levels at 2. Coonan has already struck out once in this ball game. He singled back in the 2nd inning, grounded out most recently in the 6th. 2-2. Sent well high into the shallow outfield. Charlie Bates, the shortstop, gets it just on the outfield grass. 1 out in the inning, and Conti stays at first.
A huge out for Andrew Wirtz. You walk Jake Coonan and get it to Kyle Wolf, who comes to the plate now off the heels of 2 consecutive RBI singles after a strikeout. That could have been trouble for Hyannis.
Kyle Wolf playing in his first ball game against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks this season. He's been around for now 25 games, but just didn't come in on July 1st or July 22nd. That would have been the 2 times that he was around to face the Harbor Hawks. Wirtz delivers a fastball low, ball 1. Wolf working a .236 average coming into this ball game. Hasn't had his best stuff as of late, hence why a couple of his appearances as of late have been pitch hitting and pinch running. Flies one into left field. Jace Doby on his horse to the third base line. Just catches it in fair territory. 2 outs in the inning.
Fly ball contact comes from that fastball on the last 2 in particular. Both of them not as high in the zone as that walk to Matt Conti miss. But it's been on decent swings from both of these guys. Just get too far under, and that's a credit to the Heat from Andrew Wirtz.
Matt Conti's still over at first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. 3-3 tie here at White House Field. Peter Link takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Link, a very tall guy, standing at 6'7", 218 pounds. Rising junior at Sacred Heart University. Playing in his first game with the Harwich Mariners. It's been a bit of a struggle, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Takes a fastball low and away, and he's ahead 2-0.
He's taken some very confusing stabs tonight, especially on that last strikeout in the 6th. Swung at a couple of pitches that were in a different zip code.
Wirtz puts a fastball at the knees. Link checked his swing, decided not to go around, but it was called strike anyway. And sometimes it just takes these guys who are coming to the Cape League a little bit of time. I mean, Devin Mitchell, a bit of the same case. Got off to a rocket hot start, then really went cold, but now is using his eye better. 2-1 fastball upstairs, 3-1 count.
And Steve Englert for Harwich is okay with that. They're already locked into the playoffs, can't be eliminated. It's just a matter of seeding, where Hyannis is fighting for its playoff life at this moment. And Link, if it takes him 2-3 games to get ready, that's okay, because that's exactly what precedes the playoffs for the Mariners.
2 outs, runner on first, 3-1. Right down the pipe, full count.
Couldn't ask for a better spot. Middle, 95 miles per hour on a hitter's count. Link going dead red all the way with a runner on the base paths. There are 2 outs. Could see a risk here.
Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Andrew Wirtz closes the door on Harwich. Still a 3-3 tie heading into the 9th inning.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the 9th inning, 3-3 tie between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners. New pitcher on the mound for the Mariners, Christian Rodriguez, making his 11th appearance of the Cape League season. He's a rising sophomore, standing at 6 feet tall, 210 pounds, at the University of Florida. He's got a 1.06 ERA, 17 innings pitched. He's walked 6, struck out 22. He's a great closer, and he's come into this kind of ball game before.
He absolutely has. Appeared last time these two teams met on July 1st. A 2-2 tie. Came in for the extra inning, the top of the 10th against these Harbor Hawks. And did his work, faced one above the minimum, got it to the bottom of the 10th with an opportunity for Harwich, and he takes the spot of Tyler Muscar, relieving Thomas Shirtliff's excellent outing. Struggled early, let up a run in the 7th off of a sac fly from Parker Brocious. That was largely because Ryan McKay stole 2 bases in a row after his single with 1 out, and then faced the minimum. So he did his job for Harwich, and now Christian Rodriguez will have to do just that to give the Mariners a chance for the walk-off.
Rodriguez facing an advantageous part of the order for the Mariners as well. 7, 8, 9, starting with Charlie Bates. Of Bates, Davis, and Mitchell, who are the 7, 8, 9 hitters, only Devin Mitchell has gotten a hit. That came back in the 4th inning. Other than that, it's been a lot of ground balls from these 3. Charlie Bates with 2 ground balls, and then he reached first on an error from first baseman Kyle Wolf back in the 4th. Rodriguez delivers the heat right down the middle for strike 1. Charlie Bates on a 4-game hitless streak currently, but that on-base streak just at 1 game on baseless. 0-1. Fouled straight back, another fastball, that time a little bit higher in the zone.
We've seen Mitch Carricker use pinch hitters at length this year. You imagine a guy like Jake Schaffner not in the lineup tonight for the first time in some time, especially not leading off in the early parts of the order. He could get in this game right now.
We saw Jake Schaffner pinch hit not too long ago against Wareham, and another very close ball game. He got a single and was the winning run. 0-2 to Bates. Just outside for ball 1.
Just peering over to the first base dugout, it does look like Schaffner has a helmet and a bat in his hand. So he's in the hole, getting ready to pinch hit for Devin Mitchell, it would appear.
One, 2. Charlie Bates scoots out of the way. He's worked to count back even. Could even see him come in for Miles Davis, who's on deck. Davis playing at 3rd right now. Schaffner was over at 3rd base yesterday, so it'd be pretty easy for him to plug into that position.
If not, you move Bates to the outfield and have Schaffner at short.
2-2. Outside full count for Charlie Bates.
That further plays to the versatility of Charlie Bates, as we discussed earlier. He's played outfield, he's played 3rd, he hasn't spent too much time at 2nd, only vicariously moving over from short as a shift. But he could probably do it if he needed to.
Payoff. Upstairs, Charlie Bates works a walk after going down 0-2.
Then he gives you the ability to do that. Fight back in a count with his swagger back after a difficult stretch of the summer in late June into early and mid-July. He's worked walks at a higher clip than he did at Stanford here on the Cape. And that's been a big reason for the turnaround.
There is a pinch hitter for Miles Davis, but it is not Jake Schaffner. It's Owen Prince. Prince shows bunt, puts it down right back to the pitcher. Rodriguez goes to 2nd for 1 out. There's no play over at 1st. Prince extremely speedy, and without a question was going to beat out that throw, but a big first out getting down that lead runner.
Absolutely, probably the right decision from Christian Rodriguez, knowing it would be difficult to turn 2, much less go to 1st and risk a mistake for Owen Prince, who's got the speed to steal multiple bases. That does create the double play situation for Christian Rodriguez, so that's another reason to go for the lead runner, also to eliminate the guy in scoring position. Now Jake Schaffner, as expected, digs in, and this is a playoff game for Mitch Carricker, and he's treating it like it here.
Schaffner's going to have to wait for a first pitch. Rodriguez checks over on Owen Prince, who can steal a base pretty much in the snap of a finger. Schaffner working a third best on the team, .272 batting average. But he struggled as of late, 0 for his last 9. Another check over on Prince, and he's safe again. Schaffner, 0 for his last 9, 2 for his last 18. It's his worst stretch of hitting over the course of the season. Also notably, has 4 strikeouts over his last 3 games. First pitch. He tries to lay down a bunt, sends it foul.
I like that decision here. Only one out. You got Prince at first base. With any other runner at first, you might disincentivize that decision. But since you have Prince, who could probably, with the right jump, if he's got enough of a lead anyway, maybe threatening to steal, if it's a bit of a pseudo hit and run, that could work really well.
Check over on Prince, and he's safe again. Last time Schaffner pinch hit against Wareham on July 27th. It was a tie ball game. He came in, showed bunt twice, fouled the bunt off twice, and then went swinging, got a single, and came around as the winning run. 0-1. This time he doesn't show bunt, is well late to a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. He's down 0-2.
But by the same token, for the way Schaffner's hit this season, for the consistency he's displayed even while battling injury during a part of this summer, out of what he's done this season, I feel like it's part of that decision has to go into him swinging the bat.
Schaffner's going to have to wait for the 0-2, another late check over at Owen Prince. Prince not taking the largest lead off right now, so maybe not looking for that stolen base. One out in the inning. 3-3 tie, top of the 9th. 0-2. Just inside to Jake Schaffner. He stays alive.
Phenomenal take. Low fastball. Not a pitch he's dug at all too often this year, but one that, if you get bat to ball, could easily dunk in the outfield. He makes the wise decision to leave the bat on the shoulder.
One, two. Fouled off straight back. That's the first breaking pitch that we've seen from Christian Rodriguez. He's got a lot of heat, has been throwing that consistently and finding the zone consistently. So kind of about time that he tries to switch up speeds.
Sitting 92-94 with the fastball.
Another 1-2. That time a changeup outside. 2-2 count for Jake Schaffner. Schaffner's got a pretty strong eye, 13 walks this season. It's in relation to 10 strikeouts that he's accumulated. Again, 4 of those 10 strikeouts have come over the past couple ball games. 2-2. Foul tipped again, straight back. Conti thought that he could have gotten that one. Kept it in the glove for a foul tipped strikeout. Instead, Schaffner stays alive.
He's had so many long at-bats this year. Had a couple of 10-pitch walks, and one here would change the complexion of this inning for Mitch Carricker.
The 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Schaffner. 2-2. Fouled off again, straight back. That time the fastball couldn't retire him.
And Hyannis may not have the big swings that it once did, with guys that have been here across this season, but if it has this, if it has plate protection from guys like Jake Schaffner, from Ryan McKay, who waits on deck, who knows what can happen not only for the remainder of this weekend, but for a potential playoff push.
Prince at first, and they're going to check on him. Owen Prince, if he does decide to go, can get to second in the blink of an eye. Mitch Carricker could also very well design a hit and run and get him over to third base. Try to take away that double play ball. 1 out in the inning. 3-3 tie, 2-2 pitch. Prince goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. The throwdown not in time, and it bounces out of the glove of Tanner Marsh, the shortstop. 2 outs in the inning, but still a chance for Ryan McKay.
The the second baseman.
That's very key. It's unfortunate for Schaffner to strike out as he did after plate protecting so well with an 8-pitch at-bat. But for Prince, the decision to go there now sets him up in scoring position, as you mentioned. And for Ryan McKay, comes into this at-bat red hot. Strikeout does flank a couple of singles, but he scored on the last one off the heels of 2 steals.
McKay working his 5th 3-hit game of the summer. First pitch. Lays off a fastball just outside at the knees. McKay hit for power incredibly well at Michigan State this past collegiate season. Hasn't quite had the same mustard in Cape Cod. Only 6 doubles, no triples, and no home runs. Change up, just misses outside, 2-0. McKay leads the team in hits with 34. Tied for 7th in the entire Cape League. Tied for the 2nd most RBIs on the team with 10. 2-0. He cuts hard through a breaking ball. 2-1 count.
That's a swing a hitter like Ryan McKay is going to take. Not necessarily the fan and miss, but that sort of decision because of how effective he's been this season. Doesn't have to leave the yard here either. Any sort of fly ball to the outfield will score the speedy Prince.
2 outs, 2-1. High fastball, McKay well late. 2-2 count.
Of course, fly ball contingent on the fact that it lands in front of an outfielder and Prince gets a good jump. But McKay has been known for a couple of bloops that even that would to advance Prince to third and send him 90 feet away for Parker Brocious.
Deuce is wild. Rodriguez delivers a fastball lone away to run the count full. Rodriguez does have a place to put him. Could bring up Parker Brocious, who's waiting in the on-deck circle. Rodriguez going to step off the rubber. Pitch clock was running down on him. Didn't have a pitch that he liked. Owen Prince at second. 3-3 tie, top of the 9th. 2 outs. Ryan McKay with a full count. The pitch. Low, Ryan McKay works a walk.
Not the worst thing in the world for Christian Rodriguez with the open base. He already had the force at any base with Prince on second, and now a hitter in Parker Brocious that's been on and off in this game. Leadoff walk to start, then 2 strikeouts, then the sac fly in the 7th. Anything can happen right here for Christian Rodriguez, and Harwich going to discuss some strategy.
Harwich pitching coach coming out to discuss things. Parker Brocious 0 for 2 today. Walked his first time up. Most recently had a sac fly that brought home Ryan McKay, who's now over at first base. Brocious trying to find a little bit of momentum in this ball game. Has put bat to ball decently well, but every time he has, it's either been foul or a fly ball. He's looking for that line drive instead of the scooped foul ball. The meeting's over on the mound. We can get back to some baseball. Christian Rodriguez has walked 2 in this inning. That's how Hyannis has gotten this opportunity with runners on first and second. With 2 outs in the inning, all Christian Rodriguez needs is 1 swing with weak contact. First pitch to Brocious. Breaking ball, just catches the zone, low at the knees for strike 1. Brocious has played against these Harwich Mariners. It was his first game of the season. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI. 0-1. Breaking pitch. Up and in for ball 1. Coming off a tougher appearance against Katuitt. Went 0 for 4. Looking to find some of his momentum he had earlier in the season. 1-1. Sent foul down the first base line. 1-2 count. Only one strike to work with. Christian Rodriguez has been nails for the Harwich Mariners, an ERA just around 1 run. 2 on, 2 out, a 3-3 tie, top of the 9th. Brocious takes a ball down in the dirt. Fastball misses well low. Rodriguez hops off the mound.
This is the at-bat from Parker Brocious, where we'll see if the 8 games of Cape League experience, the familiarity with Hyannis and Mitch Carricker's philosophy will actually play into a big moment.
Deuce is wild. Low in the zone, or low out of the zone. Full count. That fastball just missing. Brocious with 3 RBIs this season. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. 6 strikeouts over his past 2 games. Payoff pitch fouled off. Brocious struck out 35 times with Georgia Tech in 2025. His K numbers have been higher than usual with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks this season. Trying to deliver for Mitch Carricker. Another payoff pitch. Fouled off again. McKay and Owen Prince going to get tired on the base pads. They're taking off every 3-2, as you would with 2 outs.
Jake Schaffner showed the rest of this Hyannis dugout something with his 8-pitch at-bat and when she struck out. So a bit of a sacrificial lamb for Ryan McKay, who's at first with the walk, and now Parker Brocious, who has fought off really hard in this at-bat.
Payoff. Check swing. He did not go around. So the bases are fully loaded with Harbor Hawks. 2 outs in the inning. And the all-star, Jeff Lugie, coming up to the plate.
Couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Mitch Carricker. Arguably with the guy on second and Ryan McKay, guy struck out Jake Schaffner, but Jeff Lugie has been a model of consistency ever since he got here midway through the summer. Has yet to be in a position to deliver in a moment like this, and now he has that golden opportunity with Hyannis just a hit away from a potential postseason berth.
Lugie takes a strike. That changeup doing a little bit of magic right now for Christian Rodriguez. Lugie has struggled in this ball game, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. A 1 is low. The breaking ball can't locate, and again Rodriguez hops off the mound. He's clearly pumped up and knows that those misses are close. Hyannis has earned all of its bases via walks this inning. Lugie takes a fastball on the low inside corner for strike 2. Ace versus ace. Christian Rodriguez on the mound. Jeff Lugie, the all-star, stepping into the lefty's box. 2 outs, bases loaded. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Christian Rodriguez punches him out and strands 3 on the bases for a second time in this ball game. Harwich with a chance to win it coming up in the bottom of the 9th.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
3-3 ball game in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Harwich Mariners, the hosts, with a chance to win it, but they've got to go through Hyannis' stud, their closer, Connor Kelly, making his 4th appearance. He's already got 2 saves to his name this season, has only allowed 1 hit over the 3 appearances, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. This guy has ice running through his veins, and he comes in probably in the biggest spot of the season.
Absolutely.
It begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Three ball game in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Harwich Mariners, the hosts, with a chance to win it, but they've got to go through Hyannis' stud, their closer, Connor Kelly, making his 4th appearance. He's already got 2 saves to his name this season, has only allowed 1 hit over the 3 appearances, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. This guy has ice running through his veins, and he comes in probably in the biggest spot of the season.
Absolutely, and it felt like we said that last night, but that's because every night that Hyannis still fights for its postseason life, the Storm will continue to threaten. Just a pitch away, though, for Connor Kelly, as we've seen at many times this season. 3 appearances, 2 of them saves in a row in just 1 inning pitched. He sits 93 on that fastball, which if you watched him on Sunday against Wareham, you wouldn't expect. But he pitches at a 6-8 release that takes some at least perceived velocity off that ball, makes it look like it's coming in 97, 98 when it really comes in at 93. It's just as dangerous to a hitter. And the UTSA Roadrunner has flipped with Ryan Speciak recently, ever since he got here on the July a couple of weeks ago. But he's morphed into the closer, and he has earned the right to pitch in this moment.
Gonna face 9-1-2. Ryan Garrity, Tanner Marsh, and Nico Brini.
For the Harwich Mariners, the right fielder from Northeastern,
Falmouth
number 3,
currently losing by double-digit runs. If that result were to hold, then the Harbor Hawks would need a win to clinch a playoff spot. As for Harwich, they've already got that playoff spot secured. They're trying for the top of the division. First pitch, fouled straight back on a fastball.
Still in play for Harwich. Orleans, a spot ahead of them. All 4 teams that aren't named Chatham in the East have clinched, and 3 of them coming into the night at 41 points. The Firebirds just a point ahead of all of them in first place. So Harwich still playing for a lot. This win would certainly mean something.
Kelly delivers a fastball low, levels the count at 1. Connor Kelly has found the zone 63% of the time this season. Over 3 appearances, he's needed less than 50 pitches to get 2 saves. 1-1. Breaking ball, just catches the zone at the knees. Kelly coming off of 2 appearances that were very close to each other. Only 1 day's rest between his save against Wareham on the 27th and then his appearance against Catuit on the 29th. 1-2. Sent high into left field. Jace Doby's been busy over there tonight and left, and he's got the first out of the inning.
Connor Kelly's breaking ball tunneling so well in that first at-bat. Slides across the zone for a couple of inside locations. The fastball's his forte, but if he's got the breaking ball working too, look out.
Brings up Tanner Marsh. Marsh 1 for 3 with a walk in this ball game. Came in with the 3rd best batting average in the Cape League at .293. Kelly nearly hits him with a fastball up and in. Marsh with 27 hits this season coming into the game, 2nd most on the team. Has been the day-to-day leadoff batter for the Mariners. 1-0. Fouled straight back on another fastball. Marsh kind of the picturesque leadoff guy. Doesn't necessarily hit for a lot of power, only 3 doubles on the season, but has drawn the 3rd most walks on the team with 14, has stolen 5 bags on 8 tries. 1-1. Taken right down Broadway for strike 2. Kelly's done a good job staying ahead in these counts.
Fastball coming in as hot as it has all season at 95 on that last one.
One, two. Big wipeout breaking ball. Kelly retires Marsh. And the Hawks 1 out away from sending this to extras.
And a chance to take the lead in the top of the 10th awaits, with the Falmouth score lopsided in the favor of Hyannis vicariously through Bourne. But Connor Kelly can't think about that right now, and he has done a very good job tunneling his vision onto Ryan Garrity and Tanner Marsh with a couple of wipeout breaking balls. And now Nico Brini, who's been hot in his last 2 plate appearances, comes to the plate trying to salvage something for the Mariners.
Brini takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Brini 0 for 2 in the ball game. A sac fly and a walk make up his last 2 plate appearances. Kelly's 1-0. Peppered right past Nico Brini. The fastball has been unstoppable. It's a 1-1 count. Brini tied for a team-high 6 doubles. Has brought home 13 runners. But has a batting average down at 231. 1-1. Breaking ball, grounded right back up the middle. Ryan McKay plays it on a hop, scoops it. And Gabe Camacho just able to get it in time. 9 innings, not enough to determine a winner. Top 10 coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home, with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Top of the 10th inning between the Harwich Mariners and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Mariners already clinched a playoff spot. They're trying to get the top of the East. Hyannis fighting for its life in the West Division, trying to make it to the playoffs for yet another season. Right now, just a couple points ahead of Cotuit in Falmouth. Hyannis' season depending on Falmouth, which is currently in a lopsided matchup against Orleans. If Falmouth was to lose that game and Hyannis wins, then the Harbor Hawks would be into the postseason. It all comes down to these 3 potential batters, Jace Doby, Gabe Camacho, Dayton LaChance, going up against Christian Rodriguez, who is in his 2nd inning of work.
And Rodriguez, for Harwich, the righty, struggled in that 9th inning. Leadoff walk for Charlie Bates. Fielder's Owen Prince with a bunt that allows him to reach and gets on the fielder's choice. Schaffner strikes out, but it clearly showed Ryan McKay and Parker Brocious something, because they both worked similarly long at-bats or plate appearances for walks. And Luigi struck out, but now a dangerous part of the order. It's got 2 runs between it and an RBI from Dayton LaChance.
Doby shows bunt. Luigi is over at second base. Puts one down immediately. And the Mariners just go straight to first base. Kyle Wolf, the first baseman, was basically at home plate by the time the ball came home. And he thought for a second about going to third, but instead took the easy out at first.
Unfortunate bounce for Jace Doby, but Kyle Wolf read this like a Dr. Seuss book. Came all the way in to field it. The second baseman, Coonan, had to come over to cover as the pitcher stayed atop the bump. And Now a run 90 feet away, the go-ahead score in Jeff Luigi at third.
Camacho pops up the first pitch right behind home plate. Matt Conti chases, but runs out of room.
Well, that would have been worst-case scenario for Camacho and Hyannis, already with the one out on the board, to pigeonhole Dayton LaChance with 2 outs and Luigi on third. And unfortunately for Camacho, that ball flies over the fence.
Camacho 1 for 4 in the ball game. Struck out in the 5th. Other than that, it's been weak contact, except for his appearance in the 8th inning. Absolutely tagged one to right center field. Sounded off the bat like it was going to be long gone, but hit it to the deepest part of the yard on a cold summer night. And he just couldn't quite exit. 0-1. Camacho takes a heater upstairs to level the count. Camacho on a heater. He was on a 7-game hit streak before going a little bit cold at Falmouth and Wareham, but picked it right up against Bourne. A 2-for-2 performance, pinch hitting. The 1-1. Low on a breaking ball, 2-1 to Camacho. This very familiar territory for these two teams. They tied back on July 1st, exactly a month ago. Neither could bring home its base runner that starts on second. It's Jeff Luigi right now at third. 1 out. The 2-1 pitch. Changeup finds the zone. Camacho took it looking. The count back level, this time at 2s.
Late call, but a good pitch from Christian Rodriguez. Just loops in. A pitch Camacho could have taken, but he didn't even think about the swing.
2-2. Camacho swings and misses. Just underneath the fastball, and that is a big second out. Luigi's still over at third.
The catcher from Oklahoma.
13 strikeouts tonight for Hyannis, just one of them looking. Harwich has got that swing and miss stuff atop the bump tonight. And for Christian Rodriguez, one more of those will send this to the bottom of the 10th.
Hyannis' hopes lies with Dayton LaChance. LaChance 1 for 4 with 3. LaChance 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. First pitch, taken for a ride to center field. Brini racing in and making the catch. Harwich plays some clean defense behind really good Christian Rodriguez pitching. They've got a chance to end it in the bottom of the 10th.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Bottom of the 10th inning. The Harbor Hawks couldn't take advantage of starting with Jeff Luigi at second. The Harwich Mariners going to try to take advantage of Nico Brini starting at second base. It's 3-4-5 duo.
Workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Bottom of the 10th inning. It all comes down to these 3 outs. Harwich and Hyannis tied at 3. The Harbor Hawks couldn't take advantage of starting with Jeff Luigi at second. The Harwich Mariners going to try to take advantage of Nico Brini starting at second base. It's 3-4-5 due up for the Mariners. The meat of their lineup starting with Michael Elko, who although he's batting third tonight, did not start there. He's a pinch hitter. Pinch hit for D. Kennedy, who pinch hit for Aiden Robbins, who started this ball game. Best believe that the Mariners wish that they could have Aiden Robbins up right now in this kind of situation because he's been phenomenal.
That's the risk that Steve Englert runs, trying to get guys more run ahead of a potential postseason deep run for Harwich. And Aiden Robbins, among the best hitters in the Cape League, had a single and scored a run in the fourth in this game, a leadoff single that got Harwich back in it. They'd sure love to have him up right now.
Elko shows bunt immediately and pulls it back, a high fastball. And a defensive change for the Harbor Hawks. Brody Briggs is behind the plate doing the catching now. Elko shows bunt again. Camacho pinching immediately from first base, now runs in. The 1-0 low on a fastball, 2-0.
Part of this play at the defensive side, switching Briggs in for LaChance, could be to avoid exactly what happened for Hyannis last night, a walk-off wild pitch if it gets to that.
Briggs' defense phenomenal behind home plate. 2-0, bunt shown, and it's fouled straight back, a big pop-up. Well out of play, though. Briggs had no play. 2-1 count for Michael Elko. He struck out his first time up. That was all the way back in the 7th inning. Elko shows bunt. Camacho pinches. McKay's over at first. Lays one down right back at the pitcher. Kelly can't go to third. He goes to first. It nearly takes out Elko as he's going to first base. But Elko dodges and is out. The winning run for Harwich is 90 feet away.
Elko does his job, but boy, what a risky throw from Connor Kelly. Obviously not intentional, just threw it a bit too far to the first base line, and Camacho is a stalwart at first base. He's dug out a couple of balls tonight that should be a bit easier for him to field, but he's done his job over there, and now the productive out has Nico Brini 90 feet away with one out still on the board.
Patrick Foltz has a chance to end the ball game in just his 4th start for the Mariners. And he takes a fastball in the low part of the zone for strike one. Foltz 3 hits over 9 at-bats with 1 RBI and a stolen base. He's got Nico Brini 90 feet away with only 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. 3-3 tie. Kelly comes home and gets a big swing and a miss on a high fastball.
This is now the 5th extra inning game for Hyannis this season. Of course, 4 of them resulted in ties, but I'm surprised we haven't seen every opponent or Hyannis in every game bunt the runner over if you're able to do so successfully. Of course, it doesn't always shake that way, but now with 1 out, a fly ball to the outfield can end this game.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Connor Kelly with a big second out, trying to strand Brini over at third base.
Wipeout breaking balls were his aid in that face the minimum bottom of the 9th, but here it's the breaking ball, or it's the fastball that wipes out Patrick Foltz. And now Matt Conti's the last hope.
Conti 1 for 2 with 2 walks in this ball game. Started with a line drive to right field and ever since has gotten over to first base. Hits the first pitch into left field, and that's going to end the ball game. The Harwich Mariners walk off the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the 10th, and their dreams of standing atop the East are still very much alive. And as for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, their playoff hopes now lie in some interesting results from Falmouth. They can't really go out and take it. Just a couple points ahead of the Commodores, 1 ahead of the Katuitt Kettleers as well. And in a back-and-forth ball game, Hyannis just came up a little bit short.
From one walk-off one night to exactly the next night, the opposite occurs for Hyannis, as it has what feels like far too often for Mitch Carricker. He told us last night that it was a relief to finally have the 9th inning rally, the late inning push go his way. And credit Connor Kelly for a job well done. Only faces 1 above the minimum. Of course, that last batter he sees Matt Conti tags him for a pitch that's worked very well on that breaking ball across the zone, and he turns on it, gets it right through right into the gap in left field, and that's the piece of hitting that's won Harwich as many games as it has this season. It's vying for first place with Orleans, who the Harbor Hawks will see tomorrow at Eldridge Park. That Falmouth score still bodes well for Hyannis. A repeat situation on deck tomorrow night. Hyannis wins and Falmouth loses. The Hawks are in the playoffs.
It's currently 12-3 in Bourne. Falmouth trail in the top of the 7th, so a chance for Hyannis to regain life. The Hawks are going to take on, right now, the top of the East Orleans Firebirds, who are locked into a battle with the Chatham Anglers. Bottom of the 9th, Orleans leading 2-1, but the A's have the bases loaded with only 1 out. The Harbor Hawks facing another really tough opponent tomorrow at 6:30 on the road for the final road game of the regular season in Orleans. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. For all our producers, James Kluggish, first time on the computer. For Charlie Adams, for Sam Montag and Daniel Badalino. For our sideline reporters, Ethan Wax and Ava Fernandez, and my partners, Giovanni Collada and Max Schwartzberg. I'm Graham Nash saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.